I think we're on, JG. We're on, mate.
Beauty.
We're on. Guys, what is cracking? Good to have you on for the first Supercoach Talkback live. Now, it's a concept I've been thinking about for a while. I was coming home from the G one night when the Lions had a bad loss, and I called up the radio station just to get a bit off my chest, just to rant and vent about how we were going at the time. And I thought, you know what? We've never had an opportunity to do this Supercoach wise. So I've got my brother on the channel with me tonight. It is very, very exciting. We have put the announcement out there, but for anyone that hasn't quite caught the announcement yet, my brother JG, we are now welcoming along with Scobes and Vern as part of our Supercoach Swordplay family. So JG, firstly, welcome aboard to the family, mate. And how you cracking, mate? You've had a good round, I think, today.
Yeah, I actually had a really good round. Looking at some of the scores, there's not many that start with a two, and I've gone 20-56 before scaling, which is nice. Essendon won, and we're joined swordplay, which is even more exciting. Probably the most exciting out of it all. So keen to do this stream tonight. I think it's a really great idea. I don't think I've ever seen it done before, this type of concept, but really keen to see how it will play out.
Awesome. Well, I know why you volunteered to come on tonight, mate, after a 2050 odd, mate. It's the night to get you on so you can gloat a little bit. But that is amazing, mate. I've struggled this week. I haven't been brave enough to check out my score yet. I might do it during the live and then I can have my own rant, I think, JG. But that's awesome. It's awesome to have you on, brother. And it'll be interesting to see what sort of rants we get. We can already see a heap of comments here. And we've also got a couple of people in the backstage as well. So for anyone that hasn't seen it yet, or don't exactly know what the concept is, you feel free to comment as you usually would during a live, but you can actually join JG and I on the live itself, have a chat with us and give a bit of a rant, event, or in JG's case, a bit of a celebration chat with us if you like. If you just want to stick to the usual comments, that is absolutely A-OK, but I will copy that link again just in the bottom of the comments. So if you look at the bottom of the comments, you should see a link there. If you click that, you'll actually come backstage with us. I think there is a couple of people waiting at the moment, and then we will get you live on stage. So JG, we'll just get through a couple of the comments here, buddy, because there are a few getting up already. Who we got here? DJ from the boy. Let's go, lads. Great to have you on, brother. Appreciate you, man. Fevolution. Bloody wild round. Not for JG, though. Wild in different ways for JG. The series keen. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Logs. Hey, boys. That was me. Hey, legends. I was replying, so I'll get myself off there. Logs. 1930 for me. Neil and Finn ruining any chance of above par week. Yes, I have them both, mate. Very, very painful. That is the link there, guys. So make sure that you click that link in order to get backstage if you want to. Juicy Gerbil at the Supercoach Hub. Is this one of your old friends here, JG?
Yeah, he's been the mascot of the SC Hub for a while now, Jerb. So yeah, he frequently is in the YouTube comments every live stream.
Oh, good man, Jerbs. Shout out to you, brother. The Rookie Coach, boys, how are we, mate? Jump on the live stream, mate. If you are watching at the moment, we'd love to have you on, brother. So make sure you come and say g'day, mate. And thank you so much for that donation, mate, for a bat for Jack. You're a very good man. Global 2039 without Davidson on ground and took Caco's 62. Not too bad there, JG, for Global. Not quite as good as you, mate. Oh, this is another legend. So look at this. 2114 for me. And JG, it could not happen to a better bloke. I don't really like cheese. This great man, when I was doing a live today, donated $30 towards a bat for Jack. So, mate, thank you so much. It's good karma, JG. You know, good blokes get good scores just like yourself. And the Drongos like me just head down in the dungeons, unfortunately, mate. But you and Cheese this week, absolutely laughing, JG. Have you seen a better score than that so far, mate?
I think someone put in that chat we're in before, the content creators chat before, that one of their mates went 21-56, which is the biggest I've seen. But 21-14 is huge this round. That's massive.
That is huge, isn't it, mate? Absolutely massive. Lobsters SC started Sunday with ejection of 1793. Hopefully you went a little bit above that, mate. Murphy Reed, the GOAT. Oh, now, JG, you wouldn't believe this. As you know, on the Swordplay Potty, we do our trades at the end of the video. Janet was nowhere near Murphy Reed. He was getting Dale in and Henderson in. And I thought, well, I'm in good company. Now he goes off and gets Murphy Reed, the bugger, and doesn't go through
Oh,
with Dale. So it's like,
yeah.
oh
I feel
man,
like that's a massive miss, and I didn't get him either. And the worst part is he's going to get that forward status as well. So that just that one stings. That really stings. That one.
oh my, here I am thinking, yes, at least I've got Levi and Nevitt, the bloody sub, Chris Scott, JG.
Oh
What's Chris
my
Scott
god.
doing?
I,
Naming
I,
Nevitt as
I
a sub
don't
in
know.
those conditions,
What
mate.
didn't he have something ridiculous like 11 and 8 tackles or something in the 2 games before it? Had like 20 touches in one of the games. He was good. I don't understand how he was made sub. And I think that's why you can't go anywhere near Clohesi, who's going to be on the bubble this week. I just think they're going to keep rotating their sub between Nevitt, Clohesi, Clark, Mullen, all these guys. It's going to be a lucky dip, honestly, at the Cats.
Oh, it's a shock. And for SDK owners, you wouldn't believe that, would you? You got Big
Oh,
Neil that's had a corky or whatever is
yeah.
that, and looks gone. No, off you come, SDK. Bad luck, son. So one trap I didn't fall for, JG, very luckily, mate.
Mm,
So
yeah,
I'll
same
take that,
here.
brother. All right, we,
And
we
as
better
a
get to. Oh, sorry, mate. Go ahead. Go
oh,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, and as a Gorn owner, I bet you now SDK won't be Sol Rock next week, and Gorn won't capitalise on it.
Oh,
That's just the way
mate,
the
I
cookie
tell you.
crumbles.
Hey, did Gorn end up outscoring Sherry in the end? What happened there?
Gorn went 88 and Sherry went 89. So in the end, as a non-Sherry owner, I take it because I thought Sherry was going to go 110 plus.
Oh man, and technically it's a win for me over Gorn owners by a point, but that's not a
Yeah,
I want a big win, JG. I don't want one of these little things, mate. All
yeah,
right, JG,
yeah.
we've got our first guest on. I don't know if he's going to rant or rave or celebrate or what's going to happen here, but he's a very famous man in this community. It is Causa, the ladies' man, Blackledge. Causa, how are you,
Hello.
brother? What is going on?
Good.
Welcome to the stream,
G'day.
my friend.
It's going good.
Well, JG's going good. I'm not going too good, but tell us about your week, mate. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it par?
Oh, it's not too bad. I got 1931, so but there was other trades I was looking at, but I obviously went Dale and Henderson, but there was other trades where I would have had it was Perryman to O'Sullivan, Hasty to Murphy Reed, and then Campo to who was it? Henderson. That's what I would have had as another option, and then I would have gone Stone to Baz Smith in one trade this week. Coming up.
Well, you can't win them all, mate. Look, I brought in Lindsay this week. I brought in Henderson. I boosted. And I'm just shagged about it. Originally, it was meant to be O'Connell out for Connor O'Sullivan. That would have worked out really nice. But yeah, my boy got concussed in the end. I hope that he's well. That's, Supercoach is just a game. I hope that he's well. It was a bloody big hit. But Henderson Causa just didn't really show up. We've got Cozzy Pickett coming back. It's a little bit dicey there, but really, 99K. We made some coin. I'm hoping he can keep his spot. I don't reckon it's all doom and gloom, Causa, at the moment, mate. I don't think we're all doom and gloom.
No, definitely not.
What are you thinking about next week with the trades, mate? Anything in mind as of yet, or?
I think it's JHF gone to Baz Smith because I can't afford it. Because now I can't, because doing Dale instead, I can't do it in like one trade, so I might have to boost, and then it's I think Patton to Bice it should be.
Nice.
And
Bice
then
yeah. Throw away the keys, as Billsy said after one sub game.
I think Lindsay maybe, depending on how long out, because I may keep, depends. Maybe Hasty or Campo to Marias.
Yeah,
it's like a straight swap. So it's a straight swap. So in price. So
thoughts on Marias, JG?
Yeah, I'm really keen. Obviously, an SN fan, so I was able to see that whole game in depth. Didn't have to yell at my team too much, so I could admire the opposition a little bit. And Moraes was awesome. I think it was a score in the 90s in the end. 20 odd touches and looked really good. And even the week before that, as sub, I think he had 50 and not much game time. I don't think he'll be sub again.
Close to 60,
Yeah. I think he'll make a lot of coin. And at 113K, I'm pretty sure he's one of the only good rookies on the bubble at the moment, just because of some things that happened to a few other rookies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Langford could be one though, at 180k, after a good
Yeah.
performance. But yeah, I'm really keen on Moraes.
Few trading options this week. It'll be a pretty big stock market, I think. We'll get through some of these. Engo, g'day, mate. 2086 this week. Very, very solid, my friend. 1926 for Craig. Well done, mate. Is Jackson a must? No, I wouldn't say. Are we talking Luke
He had
Jackson?
110 point second half, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Look, when we talk must, no, I don't think so. But you know, does anyone know Shrek's timeline of return? Is that soon?
I think he did full training this week, so not far at all.
Okay. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
no, I don't.
This week
I
or
don't-
gather round.
Yeah, I don't think so then, Craig. I think you'll probably just overpay for him, mate. I started him last year, and as soon as Shrek came back, it just didn't really work out. Murray escaped the carnage with a 2053. Nice work, Muzz. AFL Doodles, the absolute legend. If you look at the thumbnail here, you'll see JG and myself in doodle form. This is the work of this great man here, AFL Doodles, a legend of the community. How are you, mate? Love the thumbnail. Oh, I love the thumbnail of the live. Yes, mate. Well, it's all your great work, as we just said. And yeah, you're an absolute legend, mate, and a bloody good bloke. Thanks for all your support, mate.
Oh.
Truth to life, you cursed. This was for anyone that's been following me on X, it has not been a good week for me. It started off with my trades. It was, yeah, I'm not going to get into it now. That will probably be a rant for my round review. I'll let some other people get some stuff off their chest.
Oh, that was crazy seeing all that. And then when I saw O'Connell, I thought I was thinking of you in that game. I thought, oh no, you've got him on field here.
Causer, it was just,
and that's what I thought. I thought because in Skodfather's thing, I was playing Swizz, and he had O'Connell on field as well. And then of course I captained the wrong person, and I lose to him.
Oh no!
What do you do? I'm not too sure. I love this game and I hate this game sometimes. I tell you, Jace is here. I love the content. Thanks, man. Second year playing, struggling with the majority of my primos hurting me. 1910 this week. I think a lot of us are in that position. I know JG and I are both Lockie Neal, Chocky owners. That's been a tough one, JG. It was a decent week last week, but geez, I'm hoping he bounces back against the Tigers. Look, these are the sort of matchups we're getting him in for, mate. So I'm holding the faith. Hopefully a nice 3-round average in the next 3 anyway, mate. The fridge, is he a keep? Well, yes, isn't he at the moment? Can you don't jump off him already, do you? Look, did you trade him in last week?
He did nothing in that last quarter and still got 20.
JG, is any world you're trading at Freya?
If I had him, I'd probably hold. I think there's a few other things that a lot of teams are going to be facing in terms of corrections this week, especially what everyone on a couple of people on the bubble. I think a lot of teams need to get Bailey Smith in. Even Bailey Humphrey, he's one that I am looking at very, very, very closely. He's on the bubble after 2 tons, and if Fraser is your ticket to get a guy like that in, then maybe. But I think you got to hold Fraser down score, and he started the season well before that, so hold him for now.
I'm in the same camp. I'm a hold for Jolly Boy at the moment. Lobster, start of the day with objections, 1793, ended with a 1977. Nice, man. Nod, Reed, and Captain Andy. I was going to Captain Andy, but the way that my round had gone, I just thought, no, I'm playing it safe with McRae. I'm just going to lock in a 120. Sherry was the other guy that I was potentially looking at, so that would have been an absolute disaster.
I switched it last minute. I had McRae C, and then I switched it to Dawson, and I thought, oh, no.
How did Dawson go? What did he score?
Yeah, he kept getting burnt a lot today. He got 96, so.
Yeah, not disaster, but yeah, it shows we don't go too greedy, of course, or sometimes do when we get absolutely screwed. Cheesy bloody Jet, he absolutely is global. No doubts about that, mate. Kimmy Durant, how are you feeling about Lockie Neal DR rage trading?
Hold on.
Oh my goodness, we have so many comments here. It's not funny. I'm gonna just get this out of the way, okay? I'm going to quickly talk about my thoughts about Lockie. Give me about 1 minute, and I'm going to try to turbo through it. And this may or may not be correct, but they're just my observations and my opinion with Lockie. I think what I've noticed in the last couple of years when Lockie Neal got tagged is the fact that particularly Josh Dunkley, also the McCluggages of the world, used to go out of their way to block for the great man. They'd be really concerned about blocking for Lockie, trying their best to free him up. And even if you look probably 2-3 years ago, if Lockie Neal had a really bad game, then Brisbane would tend to have a bad game. But having the Dunkleys of the world, having your Ashcrofts now that we can reliably have in there, your Baileys, your Rayners for little stints, we're not the Lockie Neal Football Club anymore. And I think Lockie, being the captain of the club, is actually willing to sacrifice his own game. Like we look at the matchups on the weekend against Geelong. You know, Atkins took Lockie Neal out, but then I would back as a Lion, Dunkley, McCluggage and Ashcroft over whatever rest of the midfield that Geelong are dishing out as an example. So I think Lockie is playing unselfish football. And I think what he's trying to do is actually almost get himself away from the play in order to create space for his mates. And they've got a game plan almost worked on that, with Lockie not actually doing his utmost to try to find the football, and his teammates not doing their utmost to actually block and create space for him. I think they're happy enough at the moment. Just go, okay, well, if you want to take Lockie out, fair enough. We're going to back our other 3 blokes in there to actually get the job done. And I think that they're learning to create space, and Lockie's creating space for his teammates. So that is a bit of a concern for me. I don't know. That's just a bit of a theory of mine. But I've just noticed that lack of support. I'm thinking, where are you blokes trying to actually free him up?
Yeah, they
and
didn't
they're just not doing it.
I was watching it at the end last night, and like they weren't supporting. Like they were nowhere to be seen.
I think Lockie's happy enough now. Like he's won 2 Brownlows, he's won a premiership. He's not about the individual stuff anymore. No. He's pretty happy to do what he needs to do, whatever's best for the team. So if someone wants to really take him out, he's not having an impact. Well, all right, let's drag myself out, create more space for the other boys and allow them to take over and hopefully, I said, take over the reins. So that is just my quick take on Lockie Neal. Whether or not it's right or wrong, I'm not too sure, but just an observation. And it's slightly concerning. But look, he's got a good run in the next 3. If you really need to jump off, worst case scenario, I'm happy to do so. But we're locking in a loss at that stage anyway, I think. Hoping for a big 3. Do you boys quick nothing you want to add to that, or any thoughts or observations on Neal, just for those people that might ask about him?
I'm not trading.
No, JG, you're a hold, mate.
I'm not trading him.
I won't be trading either. You know, Richmond this week, I think he scored a 160 something against them last year. And we saw against the Eagles, when he doesn't have a tag, he can still score. Like it was a 132 last week, 133. So he's still got it in him. I think he's like 32, 33 something now. So maybe he's starting to slow down. But I think against the Tigers, he has to be a hold.
Yep. Agree, mate. Absolutely agree. All right, we got Stu here. G'day, legends. Well done, Cheese, man. Cheese getting a lot of love. Appreciate that, Stewie. He is a great fella. And also, all the members of the channel are out tonight. You can see a little symbol there. I don't know, it looks like a little S-looking thing. G-Bag, sorry, legend. 19-12 for me this week. The Horny Man and Neil were disappointing. Yeah, injury to Lindsay didn't help either. Yeah, that's pretty shattering, mate. Absolutely shattering. JG Flagdons. The Flagdon, JG, you're up and about with your boys at the moment?
I'm up and about the win, but I don't think it's going to be Flagdons for another 30 years, unfortunately.
Lid's still on at the moment, is it, mate?
Yeah, absolutely firmly on. I do not rate Port Adelaide at all this season.
All right. Oh, we have another legend that may be about to join us very, very soon. And I need to thank this man for there he is.
Hey.
The Supercoach God. How are you, brother? What's happening?
Yeah, no, I'm going all right. I mean, average score this week. I mean, probably above average, actually, 1951. So you take that every day of the week. But, yeah, fielded the right rookies. Pissed off I didn't have Murphy Reed at all. So, but, and 2 weeks in a row, a player that I have on my team scores 9 with a knee injury. So, that being Tom Stewart and Xavier Lindsay. So, no, we're a bit cursed at the moment. A bit cursed like UDR, but we'll get back on track, I think. Callahan cooked me with bloody Finn McGuinness. I hate that man, Finn McGuinness. Oh, my God.
That was so bad.
What the hell happened here? Finn McGuinness all of a sudden
so it was the second quarter.
Piss off, Sam Mitchell. What an absolute
Finn Callahan was on fire in that first quarter.
I don't think he's tagged all year.
They thought, oh yeah, let's clamp him down.
It's super frustrating. And Jack, I need to actually thank you as well, mate. Thank you very much for the other night. I may not have been in the best state during the Supercoach catch-up. I had a fair few frothies, you may say, and enjoyed my time at the football and the at the festivities afterwards. But my great man here managed to book me an Uber, which I'm extremely thankful for. Ended up tripping out of it and knocking myself out, running into a pole. True story. Cracked the cheekbone in the process, but you got me to Brent's, mate, which I'm very, very thankful for, brother. And you are a very, very good man. It was great to catch up with you the other night.
Yeah,
mate.
no, it was elite fun. I mean, I'm surprised the Uber got a 5-star rating, to be honest. I looked at it the next day and I couldn't believe it. I mean,
the miracle on grass.
I booked about 2 Ubers before it, and they both left before they saw you and your good mates. So, and then third one was a charm. But good that you got home, because rough night.
Yeah, we might leave that one there, mate. It was a big one. Let me tell you that much. Mickey D, you cursed both my trades this week, D. I'm sorry, mate. I did apologise in advance for that tweet for whoever I was going to break, because it was a guarantee the way my season's going, mate, that I'd break him. So I do apologise for that, brother. Saw it 2192. Did Julian Cross, Jules, Jeepers? That's got to be close to the weekly, doesn't it? We've seen.
Yeah,
we've heard
should be.
2150. We've got Big Cheese, but that is absolutely elite. Footing Reed reminding me of the Sharp miss last year. Yeah, Jeremy Sharp, another Freo man. But let's be honest, Reed kicked 4 goals in the first week, got a 50 odd. I thought, we can't really go here with all the other must-haves. But yeah,
he was like 70 at 3/4 time, and then he was just on fire.
Yeah, big miss that one. Hexers and rookies were amazing this week for me. Primo's not so much. A bit of a theme to that, wasn't it? Those backline rookies, absolutely magnificent. Trading Neil the dud out. Joshy's gone. Bang. See you later, Lockie. Absolutely sick of you. Generative saw someone get 2108 with Nod 104. Share it as best midfielders. Wow. So what's that? That's the Zorkos, the Sinclairs of the world, isn't it? Those probably some of those key backs that scored really, really well. Maybe a Nank thrown in there too. Who definitely bounced back this week, which was good to see for those owners. Stewie Mack made the choice to play the draw and bring in Reed instead of Lindsay. Wow, that is massive. That is absolutely massive. Reed over Lindsay. Take that every day of the week. Benny Leonard, how are you, mate? 2101 with bloody Sherry as captain, lost 50 points. I'm assuming that was maybe over McRae, mate. I decided just to play it safe. I was just so worried with the way my week had gone. He's our brother. Freo games, the best Supercoach games of the weekend. That's because Janeth, behind my back on my must add, traded in Murphy Reed. I just looked at the game day. It was today, and I thought, where's Dale? Nowhere to be seen. Hello, Murphy Reed. So he jumped off Dale and jumped on Reed. That's why we call him the professor.
That was my option as well. That was my option, and I didn't do it.
I was playing Janeth this week in the I think it was the Podmasters League, and I was pretty confident. I'm like, I reckon Sarong gets a 140 here. Like, he has Brayshaw. I thought he's going to outscore Brayshaw. I thought that's pretty much all I need. Forgot he had Murphy Reed just sitting on field, not even thinking he was a worry, and just bloody killed me.
Yeah, that was like in our like cash league DR. I thought I was going to win for sure, and then Hurls had Murphy Reed and he had Brayshaw to come home.
Murphy
and I
Reed's
thought, oh no,
been a heartbreaker and an absolute celebrator for those that jumped on and had him on field. I tell you what, the juicy gerbil, here he is, looking at 1942. Currently happy with that though. Murphy Reed in saved. So the gerbil, your mate here, JG, is on Murphy Reed as well. How did everyone else jump on him? And we've all missed out. Now to get Bice and try not to yeet Sheasel or JHF. Harry Sheasel. I thought that was such a safe pick. I'm thinking I'm going your Shorts, your Perrimans, all these other Drongos. At least I'll have Harry Sheasel
there. He saved that in that last quarter, because in that last quarter he played like half back.
And when we say saved at like 90, that's not even what I...
No, but he was 55 at 3/4. He was 55 at 3/4 time though.
He had 11. He had like 11 touches in the last quarter or something.
Yeah, because they moved into half back. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see this coming, to be honest. Calum, my only 2 tons in the midfield were Nod and Murphy Reed. Another Murphy Reed owner. I tell you, we've all got Nod and we all love that one. But Murphy Reed, I tell you what.
Oh, here he is.
He's got his own rant here.
Yeah, no, that was ridiculous.
How does
he
Strong at
literally-
35 for 105 Supercoach? It's a good question.
Literally, he had 19 at halftime for only 45 Supercoach, and Brayshaw had less. And for 71 or something.
we had in the Supercoach chat, JP, previous winner, great man. He's always one not to look at the live Supercoach scores. I think he looks maybe once a quarter, he said. His advice is it's going to do your head in because they're so unpredictable. They're so up and down. He's like, it'll send you crazy if you do it. And this is coming from a previous winner.
Got 36.
And I know that the winner is someone, particularly towards the end of the season, that would be literally, you'd be looking at your phone every 20 seconds updating it. So that is advice from the great man himself. It's so hard to work these things out, isn't it? Look at Bailey Dale. Bailey Dale got really saved the other week as well. And without causes leftists. No, causes. Bailey Dale the other night, he got saved. He absolutely got saved by that goal. That could have been a terrible score. So, yeah, it's 105s, mate, from that many. Who knows? It's the secret herbs and spices. Jace, so worried about all these tags. Worth getting Dacos now is at 600k, and that 66 is going to be out of his scoring. Supercoach God, what do you think? You're a good Collingwood man. What do you think about Dacos? What are your thoughts, mate?
Just go bloody Callahan up to Dacos. All problems have been solved.
You've heard it here first. Callahan to Dacos.
I don't know about trading out Callahan. I think Callahan's still good. So
we got to give him another week. Like the bloke's just been tagged by Finn McGuinness.
Can't do anything about it. He had 30 in the first quarter. Like you can't do anything about that. It's just unlucky. But yeah, I mean, if you had I wouldn't hate it if you move from like a Neil to a Dacos, but then again, it's also a primo, so I don't like trading out primos unless, you got a Tom Stewart who gets a 9 and a knee injury. So, but yeah, you're gonna have to upgrade to him somehow. I wouldn't swap any primos for him.
Well, the one thing with Jason here, he's saying he's worried about the tags. Dacos has James Jordan in round 5. I would be very worried about that. I think Jordan, Bedford, Windhager are the ones that you really got to worry about at the moment in terms of the tags.
Agree.
It's a tough one.
He's only in his last 3, he's gone 81, 66 last year, and then 135, which I don't know if James Jordan actually played that game. So. Yeah,
it's a tough one.
Maybe wait one more on Dacos.
You need him for Anzac Day. He smashes us every year, so he'll go 160 against us.
If Darcy Parish comes in Anzac Day, who knows? Maybe you just jump on him for the week and then trade.
Yeah, then get rid of him
after he gets the medal. And for anyone as well, this is a link that you do need to click if you want to join us on stage as well. Benny Leonard. Bloke couldn't hit a target. I don't even know who that was about.
He's talking about Sarong. And just one more thing. Just one more thing on Sarong. Sarong was my highest midfield scorer this week, I think. Yeah, but him and O'Driscoll were the only ones who tonned for me. So
it's been a bit of a common theme, mate. With some comments.
I know, and just every time Sarong kicked the ball, that little snap he does every time he gets a clearance. Every time it would just go to an opposition uncontested mark, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
It's so frustrating, is it? Don't you absolutely hate that stuff? Murray Hardis, how are you, Muzz? Thank you very much, mate. $20 for a bat for Jack. You are an absolute legend, Muzz. Make sure you send me through a DM or something, mate, for a player in the stock market. I'll give you an individual player slide, mate, to say thank you very much. For anyone that's not up with this, a bat for Jack. So raising money for a young man that I know in a bit of a difficult circumstance, an elite cricketer, playing some high-level cricket. And we're trying to raise some money to get him a really decent bat, some nice willow. It's either from India or England or something or other. But we are raising money for a really nice bat. We've had some legends do that on the live today. So thank you very much, Muzz. Appreciate you, legend. And I don't really like cheese. Legend. I think that's aimed at Muzz because this great man, I don't really like cheese, donated 30 towards it today. Thank you very much, my friend. You're a legend. Generative Sarong may very inefficient once again. Still did enough to win his 4th Derby medal, apparently. So they're not looking at efficiency too much, mate, but apparently Supercoach are. And that's my rant with Bailey Dale. I said when I brought him in like 2 weeks in a row, 90% efficiency, and he just, did not look like it with his efficiency. Super disappointing. You just can't tell from week to week. Another legendary member here, Jack Blatcher. How are you, legend? I think you might have been looking right with your score as well, mate. Let us know how you went, legend. Ryan Marriage, looking tasty. Did Marriage score well today, did he?
You got like 120 or something.
Wow. And
Looks
the Humpty.
good in that halfback role.
I'll have a look what he got. He got
Jeez, okay. And is he on the bubble this week? Or
Nah, he played the first round as a sub, and then he went, I think, like 70 something last round, and then a big score this round. So I think it'd be too
Wow.
expensive to jump on him. Yeah, I'm all over Humphrey, as I said before. Like he looks to be that fourth banana in the Suns midfield at the moment, 2 tons, and yeah, even like I think he had 40% CBAs and 30% CBAs and like low 20s, but he's still scoring really well. So yeah, I'm
That's
all over that
unreal.
pick. Yeah.
All right, JG, I don't want to put you on the spot right here, right? But let's just say that I get a question this week. Someone asked me, I'm not using the boost DR. I've already used 2 boosts so far, so I can only be a maximum of 2 trades per week. I don't even want to do that. Moraes is locked in for me as that rookie, but I haven't got Baz and I haven't got Mr. Humpty. JG, who do I go? Do I have to use a boost?
Oh,
Do I have to use a boost and just get them both in, or is there a world where you'd select one over the other? What do you reckon, legend?
it depends how much you value the boost. Just because I don't think Humphrey is a must-have. I think Smith is probably more of a must-have than him. But then again, he is 100 something K more expensive. The only thing is like Baz went 147, and then I think he went at like 28% efficiency on the weekend in the wet. You know, I reckon in a dry game, a little bit better efficiency. That 81's looking more like 100 plus again. The only concern is just his injury history. You know, the ACL, played 1 game, had a sore calf, was managed in the preseason. I think he only played 1 of the preseason games. So I just don't know how he's going to go playing out a full season. I think he's going to keep missing games here and there. But I feel like if you can get both of them in your forward line and get some of these dud rookies off field, it's worth that boost if you can afford it.
God, what do you reckon, mate? What are you thinking?
What was it? Sorry.
Humphrey. So if is I'll put it this way to you. Do you think Humphrey's a must-have this week?
I'd almost argue. I think Marriage is going to go up 40 something K, and he'll be about 260, 70. So they'll be about the same price.
Oh,
I'd almost say Marriage is more.
Wow.
He's getting all the kick-ins, like literally all of them. I reckon he had about 80% of the kick-ins today, at least. So I don't know. And someone commented something with McGovern injury. Will his role change? I very much doubt it. I don't think he's still going to be taking all the kick-ins. If McGovern's not playing, they're going to lose by more. I mean, yeah, more behinds. I don't know. I think the role's really good. I know Humphrey's getting like 40% CBAs, so that's also a pretty good role. So, I mean, I'm considering getting both of them this week and skipping on Baz, to be honest.
Wow, do you know what?
Wow, way.
But that they are the type of moves in a way. It's going to work out really good or really bad, I think. But if those moves work out well and you go away from the pack, I think that's what you need to do to claw yourself up. You need to go a little bit different. So I respect that, mate, the fact that you are thinking outside the box there and not going, I'm not going to call it groupthink, but not going the Baz route. So anti-potting him, I don't think I'm brave enough to do it. I just, I think I'm jumping on this week. But I love the thought process, mate. And if you're that keen on the role, then kudos to you, mate, and absolutely go for it. You got to go with your gut. That's what I've keep on saying to myself, and I don't actually do. But yeah, go with your gut, mate. I love that. Joshy, everyone falling for Moraes. Butters will come straight in and lose his spot. Ooh, okay.
I don't think
JG,
it affects him.
you think it's his on a wing? Do you think he's earned that right?
Yeah, well, I mean, he scored that 90 with 0% CBA, so I don't think it's him that's going to be the one that goes out for Butters. Maybe it's going to be a Jackson Mead or a couple of those other younger Port rookies that have been playing. But I don't think you can possibly drop Moraes after 27 touches. I think he had a fair few tackles. He had a really good game in what was a loss for Port and a pretty bad performance overall.
Yeah, I would be pretty shocked if he lost his spot. Look, we're obviously not Kenny, but I don't think Kenny's sort of Bevo levels, Chris Scott levels here. I've got a little bit more trust in Kenny. I think he'll keep the faith, but certainly an interesting watch come team sheets. If for some reason Butters comes back and he loses his spot, it'll send a bit of carnage and chaos, I think, around the place. Sarong is just a seagull, says Uncle Acker. Nothing like the great Acker himself. I hope you're going well, mate. Jackie had a pod this week with Merrick and backed out last minute with Theo. We're just talking about him. As you said, DR, back yourself. I haven't been doing enough of it, Jackie. That is unlucky, mate. But from now on, let's make a pact. Everyone, back your gut, back yourself. Go through all the moves that you think are best. Archer Reed. Did Archer Reed do something today, did he?
Yeah, I think he 70s, maybe.
You're an owner, aren't you, JG? You went the Archer Reed over
Nah.
Harry Boyd. Oh, you
No,
didn't?
I didn't do what Janeth did, which I kind of wish I did because Archer Reid still keeps getting games. I think he kicked his first goal of his career today, so he's still been getting games despite going goalless, playing that second ruck role. But it's going to be a slow burn, but it's better than Boyd, isn't it? You'd rather a slow burn than a zero every week.
With the DPP as well.
Do we think Matty Flynn gets his spot back after this week?
I mean, Bailey Williams is horrible, but so is Flynn. I don't think Flynn will be that bad with more games under his belt. Like, he played 3 games last year, injured most of the year. I think he just needs some continuity, but then again, Witt's absolutely slaughtered him, which Jackson just did to Williams tonight.
Today.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're in a pretty big hole, the Eagles, with their ruckman. I think they're going to have to try to recruit someone over the offseason.
Yeah, and to think they had Cox and Nick Nat, you go from Cox, Nick Nat to the BJs of the world. It's a big fall from grace in the ruck department for the Eagles, isn't it, at the moment? Oh, sorry, and goodness, sorry, I didn't ever read this one. Sorry, Jolly. Goodness me, time for JG Waterworks tribute. I don't know is this something in particular, JG, that you've got going on here, the Waterworks tribute? Am I missing out on something here?
I know who it is, but I think he's just being a bit inappropriate for this hour.
Oh, a bit of a rascal is Joel. Being a bit rascalish there, Jolie. Come on, Jolie. Max Innes 23. So Parry's looking like 1950. Are we thinking that, boys? Par's maybe 1950?
Around there.
Around that.
I hope it's just under, because I got 1950. So I hope it's just under.
I'll take Par this week happily. Believe me, I'll take Par and run with it.
Yeah,
Whereas JG at the top, just looking down at us little plebs.
Yeah, what
I should actually have JG with the single camera up the top and us two down the bottom. Jack, I think the way he's going this week.
What did you score, JG?
I scored 2056. I thought it was really good until Cheese came in here with his 21.
Yeah, Jesus.
Did you end up checking what you went, DR? Did you check?
All right. Let's have a look. I think it was around the mark.
Live reaction here.
We are 1930. 1930. So
just take it and run, I think.
I'll take the 1930. Look, it's no Cheese, it's no JG, it's no Janeth. But it was a bloody tough week. So if I'll take a 1930 out of it. Love your doodle work. Yeah, he is an absolute legend, Joel. We must be so behind in the comments because it felt like an hour ago we were talking about doodles. What are we saying? His Pa just talked about that. Jimmy kickoff is 1972 top 5-ish. Oh, look, it's very hard to know at the moment, mate, but I'm guessing that we'll find out soonish, I think. Andrew Ratchek, legend. Does Flynn have to go even if named next week? Flex spot scoring nothing doesn't help at all. Humpty or Moraes, possible solution. Flynn to to Humphrey seems like a pretty good use of a trade, boys. Do we think?
Yeah,
Well, I'd hold off to see if Flynn gets to keep his spot. Obviously, like he said, but yeah, Humphrey. I'd look at it, but you got to see teams on Thursday.
I mean,
Sorry, I didn't read this right. Does Flynn have to go even if named? Well, I don't think he needs. If you still got Flynn,
he gets named.
You don't need to sell him if named. I think you keep. He's got that 87, was it, in the system already?
Yeah.
If he can get a couple of games in a row, you're laughing, mate. You're absolutely laughing. You make a little bit of coin, and if it looks like he's going out of the side after that, then say, see you later, son. At least bank a little bit there. You boys agree with that? Like, we're not trading out Flynn if he's named this week, are we? No,
and he can do all right on Briggs next week if he gets named. So I've still got him at R2. So I'm just losing that many points at the moment.
Oh, Jackie, the shit.
Lucky it's best 18.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, look, it's best 18. I'm just going to hold for as long as possible. Once best 18's over, I'm just going to have to bugger off. But I'm kind of glad I didn't pick up Sherry this week. So
yeah. Geez, I hope he's okay. Hasty looked too scared to touch the ball after getting subbed on. Ross has torched the poor fella's confidence. I couldn't believe when he got subbed out at halftime during that first week. Steve-O, does Zach Reid 88 and trainer 90 make Bice less of a must-have? That's a really fair question, Steve. That's a really fair question. I suppose what I would say is I would still have much more confidence fielding Bice. In saying that, there's no guarantee that he's getting named or he's not sub. Like, we don't know what's actually happening here. And we're talking about a bloke who's, started as a sub, played a really, really solid game last week. But what do you reckon, JG? Are you still... Well, you're not trading out Trainer or Reid now, are you? I suppose if they're your only ways to Bice, then you're holding off the trade, aren't you? But if you're in my position and you've got a Liam O'Connell type, you're trading... what any other popular rookies that we're trading? We're holding on to Pryor, aren't we? We're holding on to O'Sullivan.
Yeah, I think
these two now. Things have changed.
If you got a Leak or O'Connell, maybe.
Leak.
They're the two that you do. I've got Patton. Yeah, I reverse traded Patton back in to get that Davidson score. I won't be benching him ever again.
Nice.
Luckily, they played the Friday night, so I could actually be proactive on it. But Bice, if you don't have anyone to actually trade to him, he might not be a must-have anymore, just purely because they've got Mills, Cunningham, McInerney, Mulligan all on that 1 to 2 week time frame from their injuries, and then McInerney, his suspension. It's really tough. I had Connor O'Sullivan in until that trainer score, and I had trainer fielded. And as soon as that happened, I traded Connor O'Sullivan to Bice just because I didn't think there was going to be anyone that I could trade to Bice. Sullivan ended up going 77. He's going to make a lot of cash, could even make more than Bice and be a bit of a better job security. So, yeah, I don't know if that was a big miss like Murphy Reid, but if you don't have anyone to trade Bice to, I don't think you have to force it anymore, to be honest.
I'd actually agree on that, Jack. Would you agree on that too, that we don't need to force Bice in if it's at the expense of a Reid trainer, even Pryor type?
Yeah, I mean, I've got to try and find some money to get Flynn to someone. So I'm kind of thinking I've got trainer, Pryor, Reid. I'm kind of thinking putting Short. I've still got Short, so I'm thinking putting Short to Bice and then maybe doing it, getting a ruck that way.
I love that. I think that's your move, mate, to be quite honest. I really like that move.
The only issue is I reckon I'm going to do Short to Bice this week, try and get one or both of Marich and Humpty Dumpty, and then
love it.
And then try and get a Sherry next week, potentially, if he's all right, or a Briggs or something like that.
Sounds like you're definitely fading Bailey Smith then.
I think I have to be honest. I think it's
big.
Yeah, I think I have to.
Love it. Well, Mike was asking here, since you're the man on Marrick here, Humphreys or Marrick, if you got to do it, Jack, if you have to do it, mate, what are we thinking?
Well, JJ is going to JJ's going to disagree with me, but I'm going to say marriage. I think
It
the
doesn't
role.
matter if JJ disagrees with you or
I
not. mate.
know.
It doesn't matter.
But I
Even
think
though he's sitting there in the 2000s this week, and a little bit of a head.
I got
wobble,
lucky.
you know what
I got
mean?
lucky this week.
Got lucky. Get out of it, mate. You're a bloody good coach, mate.
I think marriage. I think the role's too good. He's got the Shannon Hearn role. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
a
ridiculous role.
It's now Marek Shannon Hearn. Crikey,
I'm
I
not
better
saying
jump
he's
on
Shannon
board
Hearn.
too,
I'm just
mate.
saying he's got that role.
Christ. Jeez, is this
Well, there
Marek
was-
maybe more of a miss? What I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, there was that report in the preseason that came out how this was before the preseason games that he was being trained by Shannon Hearn in that half-back role, and it pricked my ears up. I got him in. I think F5, F6. Come preseason games, he wasn't even selected, and then didn't get picked round one in the actual 22s sub. So I crossed him off then, but I think it comes up to if you rate the half-back role more than the fourth CBA mid role. So yeah, it's a tough one, but I mean, I'll do my work on both of them. It's not a flat no on Marriage or Humphreys. I think both of them I'm looking at, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got a lot of work to do as well, by the sounds of it here. We're joined by another great man. It's Rookie Coach. Mate, how are you? And again, a great man that also donated to a Bat for Jack today. If anyone has not seen or heard of this man before, he does run a wonderful YouTube channel, only relatively new to the game, Rookie Coach, but his knowledge is, tell you what, through the roof already. So, mate, welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
Get something off your chest, mate. Are we Stuart? Are we what?
I don't want to hear that name.
For you, mate.
I don't want to hear that name.
Yeah.
I don't want my doppelganger he's dead to me. He's dead to me.
Oh, brother.
No, look, honestly, guys, can't complain too much. Got a 1975 this week, and considering all the chaos, I'll take it.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I was a 1930, so you're definitely up on me, and we reckon you're probably a little bit above par there. I reckon, mate. So
yeah,
not the worst week at all.
Well, hopefully Supercoach don't take 3.5 hours to open this round, and we can actually have a look at it on screen.
They will.
Wasn't that ridiculous last time? Wasn't that ridiculous? We're just waiting in the chat, member, like when. And I think SDS he's just got the toothpicks to keep the eyes open there, and it was carnage. But come on, boys, do us a favour and get in a little bit early this week. All right, Jacob Dunn's here. Dunny, trade JHF this week and turn into Humphrey and Baz. Look, it's a tempting move. It's a tempting move. I'm a little bit sick of the horny one, but I'm so worried that as soon as I trade him out, he's going to go bang. And I'll say, well, this is why I started him. Why have I lost faith after 3 weeks? But it just doesn't seem like he's too interested at the moment. The role's not fantastic. We thought with Butters out, there he goes, full-time mid. Has he been playing full-time mid, or has it been forward? Is it the role, or is it him? I'm a little bit confused with the whole Horn Francis situation at the moment.
He could get tagged this week. Windhager's probably a better matchup on Horn Francis than he is on Rosé. So
well, hopefully Butters is back and just cops a tag first up. That'd be a bit rough.
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be amazing.
Hopefully, but then there's also you've got they've got what's it called, Saints with Windhager. Then they've got who is it? They've got McGuinness if he tags, and then James Jordan. So, geez,
Time to go by the sounds of it.
So time to go for either Horn Francis or Rosé. I don't know which one, but I think it might be time to go for one of them, to be honest.
Are you gone? So Jack, Rookie, you're out on JHF. You're done.
I'm not 100% there. I made trade plans to be able to get Baz in this week while holding the horny man, just because before this week I think the rookies were pretty dire, but now all of a sudden the rookies are outscoring the primos, and we're like, oh, okay. Maybe I don't try to get as many rookies off field, and it kind of changes things. So I'm taking a different approach and going through different scenarios of what could possibly happen. But there is a world where the horny man goes. Definitely
Interesting. I think I'm in the same boat. there is a world. JG, is there a world where you're letting him go? Or are you a staunch hold JHF for now?
But I'm trying not to boost this week. Like I've worked it out. I'm able to afford. Well, Lindsay might not have to go anymore, but I am able to afford Lindsay and God, who was it? Lindsay. I've gone blank now, but it was Lindsay and someone else. I think it was. Oh, sorry, Lindsay and Patton to
Yep.
Humphrey and Marias. I had 63K in the bank, so I'm able to afford that, and I didn't want to do that boost. But JHF just looks disinterested. Like I just looked before you're talking. He's had 77%, 44%, 71% CBAs this year. So the role does look there. He just looks disinterested, fumbling a lot.
Oh
I've seen
my
a
God.
lot of fumbling, like just
Oh.
anything. Dropped chest marks,
He couldn't pick up
fumbling
the
the ball. Yeah, he looks a shadow of himself of the back end of last year. I think the back end of last year actually averaged 92 or something, but more so the start of last year. He looks a shadow of himself. But I think he's going to drop a bit of cash. And I don't know if you're going to be able to, I don't think he can really go up from him. You'd probably have to go down if you have Mr. Baz, but it's a tough one. I don't think I'd waste a boost, though, on getting JHF out. That's one thing I'll say.
Yeah. Does Butters help him or hinder him?
I think it helps him. I think just one less guy.
You'd hope
like-
so, at least.
Yeah. You'd hope so. That's absolutely true.
It's a massive call, isn't it? It's a massive call because he's such a high-owned player. We're not talking about a bloke that's in 10% of sides here. He's a very, very highly owned player. So the decision to jump off or stay on, it's big. I think it's really big. And I predict, I reckon close to 30% of his owners will go this week. I reckon
Wow.
30% of his owners might go. I've got a bit of a feeling in the community that people are sick and tired of this mediocrity, and they're saying goodbye. I'm not sure. That's just a bit of a prediction there. Could look silly, but I've got a feeling lots of people are going to say goodbye, particularly the people that don't have Baz. I think that will be an easy downgrade. As you said, JG, you can't really go up unless you're on a ranking probably. But down, there's a few options, isn't there? You can all of a sudden, if you go down from JHF and you're not interested in your Power Pepper that you've got there, or your Connor Stone or whatever, that's a Baz and a Humphrey, a Baz and a Marrick. You can split JHF, and there's a few forward options this week in your Baz, Marrick, and Humphrey. So I've got three blokes that people are contemplating trying to boost in. It's a tough decision between the three. So JHF out, bang, bang, 2 easy ins, and you're getting an SPP off as well. I think it's going to be a tempting move for lots of coaches. The interesting thing, though, the spanner in the works, the biases of the world, the Mariases of the world, if you haven't got them, how do we juggle them all? And what do we actually prioritize here? Do we prioritize these mid prices that are looking really good and set to make some cash? Or would you just go, no, I'm not going to risk even jumping on a Humpty or a Marrick, even though they're at a really good price at the moment? There's every chance that things just don't work there, and I should just be disciplined and go to the rookie. That's going to be a major, major conversation, and something I'm going to be up late at night trying to work out personally for myself, because there are a few really, really nice options this week, I reckon. All right.
Yeah,
We've got a heap of comments here. Neil to King Errol Goulden, 13 weeks early. Errol, it'll be great to see him back. How'd you go this week, JG? JG, remind the viewers again.
2056 this week.
You show off.
Just one more
Yeah,
time
he
for the
loves saying
audience,
it,
just to
doesn't
rub it
he?
in.
He loves saying it.
2056.
He loves
Yeah.
it.
I do. I love it.
Lindsay Holder a trade. Well, I think it's timeline, isn't it, boys? We really need to assess the timeline. Can I ask you, Jackie Boy, Supercoach God, I'll throw this one to you, my friend. What's a timeline where you would actually hold on to Lindsay? So are we talking if he's out for a month, would you hold on to him? More, less?
Yeah.
What's your threshold?
I know it'd be hard. I mean, there's some players like a Marias that have come that are in the midfield that you could pick up. You could have him sitting on your bench for about 3-4 weeks. I wouldn't hate it. I didn't actually see the injury, so I don't know the severity of it. I was playing in a footy pracky match myself and got a knee injury, so that's me and bloody Lindsay are on the same path here. But
He's comparing himself to Xavier Lindsay, the god. I thought Spilsy had tickets on himself. Guys, just come on and just we're like two twins here, two peas in a pod.
Highlight reel,
Yourself
mate.
and Dave.
No, you know what came up today on my YouTube feed, on my shorts feed. It was the video of Spilsy having that set shot for goal. And you had a bet on it with him for like $20 that he missed. Oh, came up
slotted it straight. Today. It was his first kick of the day from 45-50 out, and he's just said, "Thank you very much, DR. Thank you for the chocolates." All right, JG and Rookie, what do you think? What's your threshold with the Lindsay? We don't know the absolute severity yet, but how long would you hold for?
I'd probably give him 3 weeks. 3 weeks is a hold, maybe.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Just depending on where his BA goes out to as well. With that 9, obviously that's going to be 2 price cycles now. I don't know how much it's going to blow out. Especially because he was scoring well before it, but probably 3 I'd hold. Anything 3 or less.
Yeah, Rookie, you on the same page around the 3-ish?
Yeah, I'm tempted to hold just because the role looks so good and he looks like a shoe-in for that role. And there's probably less questions about who's coming in that's going to affect him, like we have with Butters and Arias and stuff like that. So I think probably that 2 to 3 weeks. But I mean, I don't think you can really make a bad move if you move him on, because he's made a little bit of cash. You've got some cash gen. And if you want the quick cash gen and keep making moves pretty aggressively, you're probably going to run through your rookies a little bit sooner than what most would. So it might depend on if you're trying to practice some patience with your trades, I suppose. But I'm probably holding him for 2 and then reassessing.
That's fair. And I think that obviously the most sensible thing to do is just wait for the news, look at the time frame, and then sort of reassess from there, I think.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Jackie. How'd you go this week, Josh? Stop asking how he went. He went over 2,000.
On the screen. Don't even show JG's webcam.
Yeah, should just have a permanent thing up there, mate. Yeah, geez.
It's good all my burners are actually comment on this. They haven't been blocked yet.
JG's got the phone underneath the old table there. El Delbo, g'day, gents. Anderson or Rao? Well, Rao was Abs's weapon from last year. Did start off like a house on fire and then started to peter out pretty badly, actually. Per old Spilsy traded him in at top price and just it did not work out. Gentlemen, does anyone have any strong thoughts on this? My automatic reaction is simply to go to Anderson, but that's not based off anything they've done this season. Rao's just someone that I've never considered. And Anderson, we call him the Noah Coaster. Particularly in the best 18 weeks, he's the sort of bloke that I really like, because you know that you could get those big 150s. And hey, if he punches out a 60, like our Neils and our Rosies have done for us this week, then it's not the end of the world in those best 18 weeks, although we are almost over them now. Anyone got any thoughts, guys? I automatically go to Anderson without any real reasoning there. Has anyone got a particular choice? You want to back it up? Or
I think
He's
going to out average Rao. Rao always does this at the start of the year. He always has a good start. Like next year, I've said it before, I'm going to start him for the first 5 weeks and then trade him out.
Trade him,
because he just does this every year. He gets 130 average for the first 5 weeks, and then he just fully drops off. Starts scoring just flat tons. So, yeah.
I think Anderson really fills that flex spot type of role where you want to be able to capture the really high spike scores but not have to necessarily take his low scores. Like, I think that might be a potential play. And I've heard a few people look at the potential of that like preseason as well, just because we knew it was a roller coaster owning Anderson last season. So that could be a play. But I think the favorite is probably Anderson, just from it looks like he's going to be more consistent this season.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, agree, mate. Uncle Aka, has Janeth gone rogue? Yeah, well, he told me he was doing particular things on the podcast, kept all of his good moves to himself, left me with the dodgy moves, and he's gone bad luck, DR. Hello, Murphy Reed. Rage trade Sheasel. Is it even a rage trade at this point? Or is it something we seriously need to consider?
Wow. He's easier Trey Atlin, Horn Francis if you're going up. Like, it's going to be bloody tempting to just go Sheasel to Whitfield this week. I'm not going to lie. Whitfield's
my
role
mind.
is that good. Already got Sinclair, already got Zorko. Imagine pairing Whitfield up with them two. It'd be
Settle down,
nice.
JD. Settle down,
Oh.
mate. All right. Jesus,
think-
what are you doing to us getting all three?
I think
Ah.
at the moment, at the moment they're just trying to figure out what role they want Sheasel in, and maybe he just does end up being that Jordan Dawson type that just fits him where he needs to be because he can play every single position. So that's concerning if that's the case, but I don't know. Hopefully, considering how he played in that second half, like last quarter in the back line, hopefully stays back there and it'll average 120.
Yeah, I think it's difficult because I think at the price change, it's probably more of a sideways now to like Whitfield more than baking any cash. And I imagine that some people probably have bigger problems to fix than a Sheasel. So it may not be a luxury trade that many get at this point to move a Sheasel to a Whitfield or a Zorko or Sinclair or whoever they missed, potentially. So it's tough.
I've got a question. You're John Longmire. You're in the coaches meeting this week. Are you sending James Jordan to Sheasel this week or Davies Uniacke? Because I tell you what, I don't think I'm going to be able to cope with a Sheasel tag from James Jordan this week. He's already going to drop a lot of coin. If he goes, 80 again with a Jordan tag, it wouldn't be nice. But do they send him to Davies Uniacke?
Don't scare me like this.
I don't know if John Longmire would have a say, but I think Dean Cox might have a say.
Did I say Longmire? That's a
I didn't even pick up
disgrace.
on that, actually.
That is a
Yeah, the big
disgrace.
Coxie. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
The big horse was there for so long; he's ingrained in the brain.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's a howler. Anyway, same question. But with
You know
Dean
what?
Cox.
Well, Jordan's tagged halfbacks before, hasn't he? Plenty of times. So I think that Jordan can pretty much go with Sheasel. And Jake made a good point about Sheasel being that man that you can just put wherever you need to. I think Jordan's a type of tagger that can probably go wherever he goes and follow him. I just don't know if Davis, and I know Sheasel hasn't had the most impactful year, but I don't know if LDU's actually done enough to warrant a tag to get that respect.
He's pretty bad today.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who has been good, who could get a tag. Jai Simpkin has been really bloody good.
Yeah.
There's
every chance he gets a tag. He's been that good.
He's a forward as well, isn't he, in Supercoach?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he was a great pod pick. I don't
that
even
would
know
be a
if he was
pod play.
pick, but
I think he burnt too many people last year.
Yeah,
me included. But
Yeah.
hey, Jack, I've got an idea for you, mate. Just skip the Moraeses, mate. Just boost those three in, mate. I reckon. Boost the old three mid prices in.
Yeah.
I reckon, buddy. Take a bit of a risk. Go a little bit rogue.
Yeah, I will. I probably will.
If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be God. He's still
Yeah,
holding on Flynn.
Mate, you know how close I was to how annoyed I am that I was so close to picking Josh Sin over Short, and I wish I did it now, but
You were, weren't you?
Hey, I chose Fridge. I had a contemplation of going, you know what? I've got Perryman. Maybe I get ahead and just bring in Bice for him and field trainer. What's the worst that can happen? It's best 18. But no, I'm like, I need a stopgap. Let me bring in the Fridge. And then the Fridge broke and Trainer scored a 90. Like, it's just one of those weeks. Like, Trainer did 24 last week. In no world was anyone considering he'd go for a 90 this week.
Oh, so super unlucky, isn't it? So super unlucky.
Last one on Sheasel to Whitfield. Guess who Whitfield has the next 2 weeks? West Coast and St Kilda. He's got Eagles and St Kilda the next 2. I'll tell you what, Sheasel to Whitfield looks so bloody tempting. Like, it's just, the writing's on the wall.
Oh my goodness, that's a scary non-own. That's a scary non-own.
What do you score? What do you end up scoring?
109, I think, and it was 50 in the first quarter. I'm surprised McGuinness didn't go to him because he had like 11 touches in the first quarter.
Come on,
Callahan.
Bloody hell, that's ridiculous, isn't it? What? Just let this bloke, just one of the best disposal, best runners in the comp get 30 or whatever he gets, and stop Finn bloody Callahan. Give us a break. That's
Mate,
ridiculous.
and I tell you what, I thought all year it was just going to be Tom Green getting the tag, and now all of a sudden, bloody this 450k priced midfielder is getting tags. Like, what is this? What is
I
this world we live
know.
in?
Stay away from our bloody mid prices. Like, it's ridiculous, Jack. The gerbil, agree on Lockie DR. Lockie can take a step back to let Dunks and the younger blokes get in the guts and tear the opposition apart. Just a theory I've got, mate. But yeah, it doesn't really look like he's got that hunt about him at the moment. Basically, you're saying to trade him out. He's been terrible. We can't handle being tagged. Well, what I'm saying at the moment is that I think in the next 3 weeks, I don't think he's going to cop a hard tag. I don't think so. He could. All I'm saying is at the moment is that some of the matchups that I started him for are still to come, and I'm not just going to lock in this big loss now. Like, there's no way I'm going to trade Chalky before the Tigers match. Look, if I need to and I need to reassess, maybe, but at this stage, I'm holding it as much as I hate doing it. A gutless mutt must be punished by the bottom smacks. Jeez, I didn't want to get that personal, but Jolly's not a fan of Chalky. Tim Taranto will tag him and Kato M. Look, all I'll say is Kato M could not carry Lockie Neal's bags. I'd say, Kato, give us a break. A bald bloke that wears a headband. Come on.
Oh, how shocking is that look, by the way? That is
give us a break, Kato.
I actually like it. I find it funny.
Do you know why you need a headband? When you got some long, lushing stuff like this, mate, that's when you need the headband. Give us an absolute spell with that look, I reckon, mate. Travi Luke, go to our line. Surely teams start tagging Dunkley or Walsh, which is obviously, if anyone doesn't know, Will Ashcroft, with how well the Lions are playing. I bloody hope so, Trav. I absolutely hope so, mate, as a non-owner of both Dunks and Nacho.
No tagging on Dunks, please.
Stay away from my man.
Stay away.
Connor Nash also went to Callahan. Great. So he's got Nash and McGuinness. Yeah, thank you very much, Sam Mitchell. Need a round review with DR on the piss. Well, the issue is, mate, I probably couldn't stumble my way to the computer. That would be the issue. So, yeah, maybe come out with one of these Supercoach catch-up nights, because I remember the last one before this, right at the end of the night, it was actually the great Damon from Supercoach Edge who had to actually give me a lift home, a ride home. He's a great man. But I tipped my last beer, my last schooner all over Swizz's phone, and it stopped working. And so I think his missus put it in rice or something overnight, and it magically started working. So I get, a little bit loose at the SC catch-ups. I need to be the mature man that I
You know what we need to do? You know what we need to do? We need to go out on a Sunday night, and we got to all get pissed and then do a round review all together at 11 o'clock when it comes out.
I like that, mate. Take the Monday off, hit the cash or something afterwards. That sounds bloody
You know
good,
what?
mate.
Even be like even more risky. You get pissed on a Thursday evening before lockout of trades.
Oh,
and you do your trades.
No, that's dangerous. That's season over type of stuff, mate. That's
I guarantee you, Jack in Humphrey, Marrick, Simpkin in a boost, and he's got rid of Paul Francis. Fabs, everyone's talking about high scores. What about the low ones, like a 1754? Frankie, we've all been there, brother. We've all been there, but it is a marathon, not a sprint. That's what I've been repeating in my head all week. And you'll bounce back, brother. You'll bounce back. There was some absolute carnage this week, and you just cannot stay away from all of it unless your name is JG. Jonas, as long as there are no more polls around, I did have a bit of an issue with the poll there, Joni. Trav, g'day, guys. 1961 for me this week. Not great, but given some of the carnage this round, I'll take it. Absolutely. Thoughts on Humpty at 270? I think we've pretty much discussed him already in a fair bit of detail. But what we, I suppose, like about him, mate, is the role. We're not saying, we don't believe he's an absolute must-have, but at the price, we know he's an early draft pick. I had him, I think, a couple of years ago. I traded him in, and he'd almost an inflated price up my forward line. I forget how much I bought him in for, but it was really nice, maybe 5 weeks I had. Then I said, see you later. And it was a nice little relationship I had with him. But, I don't mind him at all, mate. And if you've already got Baz, then I think it's a really good trade in there. Someone say KFC.
One more thing on Humphrey as well. I reckon in his rookie year, I think his first 2 weeks were 100. I
Yeah.
can't remember that.
Maybe that was it. I
So-
jumped on after that.
Yeah, I just with this, yes, like the roles there, but like I don't know. He didn't, and he scored pretty well for the rest of the year, but I don't know. It's I don't know. It's still a bit risky. Like I know they've got all their midfield. Like Took Miller didn't play much mid time at all this week. He had like 38% or something. So I don't know. There's a few things that could go into the whole role conversation. But yeah, I mean,
I actually tend to lean to God's point he made earlier about Marek being a slightly better pick. And I have to agree. I think if you look at Marek, we want four. I think like if we're talking role, it's good that we look at Humphreys and we see that goals or no goals, he seems to be scoring pretty well. But for Marek, getting shared kick-ins, he looks to be one of the go-to guys in that halfback position to receive it from a kick-in as well. He's getting some intercept. Like I actually really liked the game that we saw. And plus, if McGovern is out, like that's just going to boost his scoring as well. So if I had to pick one or the other, I'm going Marek.
My question would be, what's changed from, because as JG said before, he was in for a couple of those maybe, well, there was a bit of talk about him, but then we just didn't see him early, particularly those. So what's happened from then until now? Is it someone that's injured, lost their spot? Because he was obviously selected with McGovern. So I don't think it's necessarily just dependent on McGovern, but what's changed from then to now for him to get his spot back? I know a lot has changed. Flynn, we thought definitely R1. All of a sudden he's out of the side. I don't know if we've got any answers to it, but that would be my only concern. Is there a world where they go, well, next week someone else has a crack? Or do you think he's played that well that he's now at least bought himself enough time in the role where you're going to be able to make your cash and this will be a successful pick? That would be my only question, I suppose, that I'll put out there without having the knowledge to answer that question myself. It's
based on pure observation of watching the games. I think, is it Duar? One of the other rookies?
Tyrell.
Yeah, Tyrell. Yeah. I noticed that in like the first little bit, first game, I think he had some kick-ins, but then in the game 2 or 3, he had 4. And then the next game, he played more predominantly forward. So I noticed that he had a bit of a shift. I'm not sure if Williams coming into the side, which then forces Reed into the forward line, that they don't need someone of Marek's stature and build to then sit forward. So maybe he's now pivoted into a backline role predominantly. This is a pure observation. There's nothing to really back this, but that is like maybe why I'm probably a little bit more confident. Does that mean it's going to hold? No, absolutely not. Coaches swing Mareks around all the time.
Where does Hutchinson play?
Wing.
On the wing, yeah. Only a little bit inside as well.
The only thing
I'm trying to look at ins and outs, and I can't really see why he's gone from a sub to on field.
Is there kick-in data out yet? Because I know last week,
he had 9 this week, and he
9.
He took all 9 of them out of the square.
Yeah,
he had 9 from what's that? 16.
Gee, that's
week before he had half of them.
So that's just over 50% in the 50%, because 8 of 16 is obviously a 50. So 9 of 16. Jeez.
Yeah.
But one thing I'll add to the Humphrey argument is this week he's got Adelaide at home, which could be a challenge, but he's got North and Richmond. So in the next 3, he's got North Melbourne and Richmond in that 3. Like that could be, you'd hope, to 90 to 100 plus scores. But yeah, you guys are really making me think about this Marek's role. The only thing is, like, what'd you say, 16 behinds? Not many times teams score 16 behinds, so might be less kick-ins to come from. And last week, I mean, Marek had the same role last week and scored a 70. So is he going to be that volatile pick? Which then again, I think Humphrey could also go pretty volatile as well as that 4th mid role that rolls off the half-forward flank as well. So yeah,
I mean,
giving me something to think about, you two.
Humphrey
was
Humphrey
get on your hump.
It's also with Humphrey, like he just played in 2 thrashings.
Yeah,
playing that midfield half forward role, like that's gonna help him. Yeah. And I don't know, this week, Adelaide, and then the next 2 weeks are really good. So you could almost pick him, cancel out whatever score he gets this week, and just hope that the 2 weeks after that are really, really good. And then even potentially you can upgrade him to someone, but or maybe he is just that keeper that we've been praying for.
I think the play is if you have a Kako who's on a bye this week, you emergency Humphreys if you bring him in. If he gets another score, you leave Kako on field and Bob's your uncle.
There we go. Solution done. Some say KFC. Hey, legends. 1965 this week. Some big cash gen coming our way. Callahan and SDK out. See you later, says the man. Welcome to the team, Sinclair. Tell you what, Sinclair or Whitfield. Very, very tempting, aren't they? I tell you what. Trav, thoughts on Marek and Humphrey and the bear instead of Bailey, Cotton and Smith? Yes, talked a lot about that. I did not realize how many comments we've got. I've just had a quick look down the page and it is a little bit ridiculous at the moment. So I'm going to try to skip through a few of these a little bit quicker so I can get to everybody. Shanna, g'day, Shan. 2104 for me. Well done, mate. Played my brother and got the W. So bragging rights, you cannot go wrong. When you beat the brother, you beat some family in Supercoach. Yeah, life is good, isn't it, mate? Jimmy was able to put Just Pip Hurls in one of the Skits Fits leagues, but he was coming on strong with Reed. Yeah, Hurls, absolute legend in the community as well. Make sure you check him out. And a very decent win if you ever win against Hurls. Trav said his DE sucked. I'm guessing that might have been Sarong. Only check scores at halftime and full time only. It's probably healthier if you do it that way. Sheezel. Shane just says Sheezel. Well, you don't need to type anymore. Sheezel with points of ellipsis is all that we need there, Shane. Feeling you, brother. The Great Graven. Hey, man. Murphy, Reed and Bice from day one. But then again, I have Neil and Gorn. That is a bit of a flex. Reed and Bice from day one. Well done, my friend. Neil and Gorn. Hopefully they'll come good, mate. Gorn getting 150. Oh, Nini's on it. He's back on the boy here. Dacos will get tagged soon. Yeah, JJ, you brought up a bit of that fixture. A little bit scary, isn't it, mate? What's doing with Nick Martin? JJ, you're the Essendon man on the crew here. Nicky baby, any info, any points to raise with Martin?
Well, last year he obviously had that that half-back flank role. His first couple of years he was on that wing high half forward, which is so much beneficial to Essendon. Like, it's worse for Supercoach, but he's currently playing wing high half forward rather than that behind the ball role, and beneficial for Essendon. As I said, not beneficial for Supercoach, but that's what's happening with Nick Martin. I'd be interested to see, though, if is he defender mid? Because if he's not, he could get forward status. But obviously, if he's defender mid, he won't. But I'd actually be interested to see how much percentage forward status.
Only, isn't he, Martin?
Yeah.
He's defender only.
I wouldn't know his exact split, sorry, because he has spent a lot of time on the wing, so he might end up having more percentage mid anyway. But yeah, he's just moved to the wing and high half forward now. So just, doesn't have that half back role anymore.
Interesting. Good advice from the Essendon man himself. The ladies' man is back on the stage. Causa, g'day, brother.
Wow.
So, Lindsay to only miss 1 week.
I reckon 2 to 3.
I'm not sure if there's been news come through.
Because it was a meniscus, I think it was meniscus strain for Lindsay.
No idea. Let's just keep our ears out for the news, I suppose.
No, that's what came out. They said on the footy today.
Smith or Humphrey? Well, I think we've discussed this at great length already, guys, but I'm going just one name. I'm saying Smith. JG?
Smith. Yeah, Smith.
Ooh, Supercoach God?
Smith, if you want to play it safe and be weak, but
Yeah, but what are you doing?
I don't know.
He's getting Simkin in, I guarantee you.
I'll probably end up bailing out like I do every single week with my nice little pod option and then going Smith. But I think I'm definitely going to pick Marriage. I reckon that might be a lock for me this week.
I love that. Causa, Baz or the Humpty?
I'm going to say Humphrey.
Causa's different. The pod, the old elephantitis Causa, that's a story for another time, mate. The rookie, Coach, what do you think, mate? Baz or Humpty Dumpty?
I don't hate going Humpty if you have big problems to sort for extra like if you're, say, done with the Horny Man, you could easily go Horny Man down to Humphrey and fix a defensive mid-pricer if it's absolutely failing, for example, and get yourself a Whitfield or a Sinclair with probably cash to spare. So I don't mind the Humpty pick if you need to fix some other lines, but the safer pick is definitely Smith.
Yeah, love it. Imagine if someone's just tuning in, got like the speaker, and their missus, we're talking about the Horny Man and Humpty Dumpty. They go, what are you listening to here?
Good stories after dark.
Supercoach, you could get a little bit confused and a little bit scared, couldn't you, if you just listen to this conversation without context? The bear for mine. Chav's going the bear. Global Bowie would have been a super juicy mid-pricer.
Yeah.
Well, look, you sort of had Bowie there, you had Salem there, but I thought Stephen May's back. That's going to affect these boys a little bit, particularly with their kick-ins, but it didn't seem like it affected Bowie.
No, it's because
all.
Lever was
Looked good.
obviously the laid out the day before that he couldn't get up with his ankle,
Lever was
so
out, wasn't he?
that did help.
Yeah. Mid-pricer. Sorry, mate, I read that correctly. Anyway, will Merrick's role change with the Gov injury, though?
I don't reckon.
So, when did the Gov injury actually occur?
So what happened was he got hit by, I forget who he got hit by, and he started bleeding from the head, and then he came off to get I think it was Cripps, who hit him, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, there must have been another injury that happened as well, but I don't know why he didn't finish the game out. But I know that he got bandaged up and then came back out and then was off again.
That's interesting about the role. Well, yeah, I'm not too sure. I think we'll just have to assess and see how the Gov actually is and if he'll be playing next week. He went 81 poop. No good. Simpkin 3 tons in a row. What are we thinking?
No. The role, I don't know. Watching him today, he had some CBAs, but I don't know. But he had some goals, and I don't know.
429 at the moment, but that'll be going up.
He'll be over 500, most likely, or close to
Yeah,
it.
look at his CBAs now. He's only had 30, 26, and 36%. So
yeah, he's
I don't know
been
if that's
started.
sustainable.
Normally he starts off half forward, but today Human Parker started the first CBA.
I couldn't go there at that much, personally. We're talking about the Humpties and Marricks. I'd much rather take a half-price punt at this stage, I think, rather than locking Simpkin at that price, personally, mate. Yep, 2026 this week. Very happy with that. Dunks the Sea. Should have done better. Absolutely. I thought those conditions were absolutely prime Dunkley conditions, and I was prepared for him to give us a nice 140 plus. Unfortunately, Frone is not the case. But I think he did get scaled up maybe 10 points towards the end of the match.
Yeah, it was 10 points,
bonus.
Thankfully.
Jackson up to R2 and gone out was absolutely elite for me this week. What a move. Gone out, Dogger in.
My mate picked Flynn at R2 and then had Jackson as a backup if Flynn got dropped or something. So he's still got Flynn sitting there.
That's unreal.
On the bench and just has Jackson at R2.
Yeah, I've seen a team in one of my leagues where it's Matt Flynn as R1 and Harry Boyd R2.
That's crazy, that sort of stuff. Cause is just jumping in and out here. I don't know what he's
boys.
Cause is just going in and out.
The lockout is open, so we can see the damage.
Ooh. Also, just quickly, I know we stopped talking about McGovern, but there's a lot of comments coming in that McGovern has a groin issue. So they're saying a totally different incident to their head injury. So if it's a groin issue, I'm coming on the marriage train, lads. Let's go. Let's take this all the way.
Oh, what are you blokes doing to me? Oh, really? Okay.
Right, we did this last, literally a couple of days ago with Henderson. Don't listen to us. Follow your gut.
I'm going to jump on if you blokes are. Dumpster Dusty Humphrey has been feasting on dead rats.
He's not wrong.
Mate. You're right. It's Kaz. Hey, man. Surely Humphries mid-time is eaten by Flanders when he gets better match fitness. Is that a fair call that Kaz has there with the Flanders situation?
Maybe. I don't think Flanders will play half back anymore because they've brought in Rioli and Noble. So
Yeah.
Flanders
Flanders
will either
had
be playing.
41% himself, though, I think.
Oh, really? They just share it around in there.
Yeah.
They've just got that many midfielders.
What's the damage? What? What?
Yeah, I was very surprised. That's a good smile. That's
Oh,
a
went
good
up.
idea.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
having
gone
a
up,
went up.
hasn't he? He's got
Yeah,
in the mood.
I went up.
JG. Sorry, go. You went up as well. Well, you were better than me. So, JG, what was your rank before this week?
I was 11K before this week. I haven't actually checked.
Oh my God, you're going to be top.
You're going to
like
be
1K.
ridiculous. You're going to be
You're
ridiculous.
Come on,
Right,
JG.
here we go.
Where's the drum roll?
Live reaction,
Come on, mate.
JG.
2.1. 2.1. I'll take it.
Hey!
There we go.
Live on air. This was meant to be a bit of a rant session for some people. JG is taking over the celebrations. Our man closing in right on that top 1%. Fantastic, mate. And just for context, I scored a 1930 and went up 2,100 and something spots to 12,411. So I was absolutely ready to go down in the dumps in the rankings there, but I'm stoked with that. Absolutely wrapped. Do you boys want to give anything away yet? Or are you going to wait till your round reviews?
I'll give some away.
Yeah, go on.
I see green, which is crazy because I've been sitting in the top 1%, and I've been so scared about falling out of it. But I went back up to 1781, so I'm in the top 2K now.
Wow, that's huge.
Came back.
That's huge.
You know those times where you sit here and you have to smile and pretend you're happy for other people, like those in the beauty pageants.
I'm
the other lady's like,
I'm
just
with
thinking, you bitch. It's well done, JG. Well done, rookie. You just been starting playing the game. You're in the top 2,000. Just bloody hell, God. Hopefully you've got down the dumps to make me feel better. No, I'm joking, mate. I want you to be successful as well. Tell us, are you going to give it away, or are you going to wait till your round?
I'll give it away, and then I'll probably head off to do my video. But
all right, mate.
I'm still worse than you, DR. I've gone.
Yes.
I was
20, sorry. I was meant to think that, not say it out loud.
I was 24 and a half, I think, and now I'm 15.8.
Nice. So that's 10K up, and we were really worried about our scores. I must admit, I was super worried. Like, I'm thinking, because I was at 15K, like maybe 15 to 30K type thing. That's what I was honestly prepared for. But to actually go up, I think it goes to show, guys, there must have been a fair bit of carnage around the community for scores like mine to give me, some green. But geez, I tell you what, JG and Rookie in particular, what an elite start. The fact that you're in this position now, I think you blokes can give it a red hot crack. So,
so
there we go.
Rookie, don't steal my Marich and Humphrey play, please.
I put in the chat as soon as you said it. I said, get out of my head, because I actually was considering it.
God, I can afford.
I better go.
Later. You going?
I better go. I gotta go make my video. But have a good night, and
you too, legend. Thanks for joining us, mate. Thanks for the Uber as well.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks, man. Oh, geez. I wish, no offense, Jack, Supercoach God, I wish you had stayed, because now I'm with these two top 1% blokes and it's making me feel absolutely terrible. But
Rookie stealing the spotlight. I thought 2.1. How good's that?
Oh, no, JG didn't even follow me until yesterday.
Oh, yes. I had a man.
Now there's some competition with the two big dogs, I'll just sit back, boys. And but poor JG comes out with this big bang. He's thinking, here we go, top of the live. And then Rookie just slips his way in with his nice little 1,700. And he calls himself the rookie coach. I'm this old bloke that's meant to be the veteran of the game, sitting out at 12K. But well done, mate. And here is a comment you were just talking about. It is next. God, get out of my head. I was thinking the same. So that was legitimate. And that was at 9:36. Oh my goodness, it's 10:30. Am I an hour behind with the comments? This is I do apologize. Guys, there was up to I think 250 viewers at one stage. I didn't think it would be anything like this. This is way exceeded expectations. But yeah, thanks very much for everyone that's tuned in. What I will do, week upon week, we'll get special guests on. But remember, you as a community can actually jump on with us. What I'll do is I'll send the StreamYard link into the comments section. All you literally do is click on the link and you're actually on with us. So more than welcome to do that. I don't know if I'll even go through the comments, but we'll try to turbo, boys. What happens with Darcy comes back, though? Yeah, that's with Dogger Jackson. That is always a worry. Tom Green is looking for JG. Have you offended this man, or?
That's from last year when I was on the Hub podcast and Tom Green had just popped a 5-point thriller performance after I traded him in. I missed you know how he started the year bang, like 130 average across 5 games. I'm like,
absolutely.
all right, I'm paying up, getting this guy in, and first game 5 points. I was like,
I did the exact same thing last season, JJ. I think I ignored Supercoach for the next week. I made my trades before lockout, and then I closed that and didn't look for another week.
Well, we've got the flex now, boys. So hopefully that can avoid some of that absolute carnage. But I actually started Tom Green that year, and my plan was to actually flip him at his buy because I thought I really like his starting. I'm going to flip him at the buy, but didn't go through all that and kept on to him. So, but at least I started him and didn't trade him in. It's always a lot worse when you waste a trade on someone. What happened with Levi? Yeah, look, it didn't have a massive impact, but I think his goal was really impactful because I think that got us back on the horse again. Gave us a little bit of excitement, a little bit of momentum there. But, super disappointing when you get Levi 36 and Murphy Reed, tunning up. It's, you wouldn't believe it, would you? Salt and pepper trade to Humphrey and Sullivan to Merrick. Sullivan, which... Yeah, absolutely.
Foss?
Absolutely.
If it's Foss, absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. I don't mind that at all, mate. Yep, I think that's good. Is Pryor a trade out or hold? I'm not an owner or an Essendon supporter, but JG, I believe you're both, mate. You're a Pryor owner.
Yeah, I'm an owner, Essendon supporter, and looking at his break even now, -12. You've got to hold that, surely. He was his first half, I was fuming at him. I wanted out of that Essendon side. We've got Laverde playing VFL. He had a really interrupted preseason. Only just got back to play VFL on the weekend, but playing as a forward, the only other guy that could have taken Pryor's spot was Hayes. And after Pryor wasn't dropped after the Adelaide performance, I was like, okay, this guy's undroppable. Looks like he's our new Jake Kelly in terms of that. But that second half was genuinely good. He should hold his spot on that second half. And -12 break even. We said before, don't force Bice in. I'd hold him.
I don't disagree with that. And the good thing is that score, we always talk about the price cycle here. That good score is now going to be in for those next two. So, you love a good score in round 3, don't you? That's when you want the big boom score. You don't want it in round 1 because that drops out straight away. You want it in round 3. So congrats to anyone that did it in round 3 for us this week. Thoughts on Harvey Langford? Well, did things change with the Lindsay news for Harvey Langford? After that performance, he surely won't start as a sub again, would he? When you've got the Woden types, I suppose you've got Cozzy Pickett to come back in.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly look up how many CBAs he had on the weekend. So he had 55% CBAs on the weekend and had 26 disposals. Surely he can't be dropped after that.
Yeah,
and he kicked a goal.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, kicked a goal, 26 touches, 55% CBAs. I'd be interested. I'll have a quick look at what his break evens popped up as. Just obviously because he had that first game as sub, so he's got a 2 break even. So he's got that sub affected score in that price cycle now.
The week
after this round, he'll have 87 in 2 price cycles. Yeah, so
yeah,
it's interesting.
The consideration is the price tag, though, because you're paying 180, and when you've got cheaper rookies probably making more cash, it's really hard to opt for a Langford.
Absolutely, it is.
are we? Is no one's really going to go Moraes over Langford, though, are they? I mean, the other way around, Langford over Moraes when you've got that or that 90 there, the wing roll. I don't see a word where you go Harvey Langford.
Agreed.
But I suppose if you've got everything and you're happy enough, I don't think he's a bad selection. I just think there's other priorities. Is the way that I'd say it.
But even on that price tag, you got Langford at 181k, or the one that we all seem to miss, Murphy Reed 199k with a minus 63 break even. So maybe
we
even
go?
he is still. Maybe he's someone you still go minus 63. That's a good break even.
And the
Yeah.
roll
Third
looks
week.
good.
Big scores in the third week.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, we've got a lot of options this week. This is what makes the game
Yeah.
exciting.
Hate it.
And I think this is where we'll
Yeah.
see some divergence. This is
This
where the
is so
vanilla
true.
goes. There's sprinkles. There's, I don't know, the little nuts you put on. I don't eat much ice cream, but you know what I'm talking about, boys. Time to get a little bit spicy here, I think.
Yeah.
Here is the great man himself. I couldn't look at archery without throwing up last week, but stays one of my favourites. How was he cramping? The poor bloke just could not move last week. I felt for him. They were terrible conditions. They shouldn't have played at that time slot up there. I reckon that's ridiculous, but it is what it is. All done now. Jace, keen to bring in so many players, as are we after this chat, mate. Is it more important to save the boost once I've used 2 or try to fix the squad? It's always a big discussion when to use boosts. Look, there was one year a couple of years ago, I think it might have been the first year of the boost, where I had one left in the bank. I didn't actually use it, which was shattering, but I wouldn't use a boost just for the sake of using it. But if you feel like it's really going to improve your side and you're going to use it to good effect, then I think you can go for it. The only trouble is, if this is the third boost you're using, you'll literally be down to 31 trades. That's pretty scary. That's pretty scary.
Yeah.
So, oh damn. Would you boys? Is there any way that you'd use 3 boosts in a row? Or if you've used the 2, you basically have a rule like there's no way that I would go down to 31 in no world here, unless I've got 3 blokes that are just not playing on field. Like you couldn't go 3 boosts in a row, could you?
I don't think you could. I don't think there's going to be enough must-have rookies on the bubble this week to warrant a boost 3 weeks in a row. Like I can understand the last 2 weeks there would have been rookies that you missed. Maybe you started a flim that you needed to get out. Maybe you didn't want to wait a week or 2 with Chris Scott's shenanigans or Tom Stewart or all these different things. And there was reasons why you could have done 2 in a row, but I don't think you can go 3 in a row. Like Horn Francis, Sheasel. Obviously, I said before I'd be tempted to go Sheasel Whitfield, which I'd be lying if I didn't have a look at it while we've been live right now. And I can afford it by 2.6k, but we won't go there, lads.
Can you as well? You can afford it. Oh, that throws a spanner.
Yeah, but that would only be my second boost. I think 3's. You'd be playing with fire, but that's the way Skodfather plays it, and you know he's
right.
finished in the top 10 before, so you never know.
Oh, I'd be so paranoid going that early, but look, you never know. It could work. Blacks, Sarong and O'Driscoll scoring the same today is criminal. Sarong killed it and scored 105. Yeah, a little bit disappointing for Sarong owners, but I'm celebrating as an Andy B owner. Just, finally a great score. Anyone pulling the trigger on Riley Thilthorpe? Look, I haven't heard about anyone, mate. Jeez, now we're getting Thilthorpe added to the conversation. We've had, someone like Sam Darcy playing really well. All these mid-price forwards just all over the shop at the moment. But I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my man, Supercoach Wiz, who also runs a great YouTube channel. Make sure you check him out. He was on Rolly Thilthorpe from the start. So selected him as an Adelaide supporter, really backed his gut on it. And I must admit, I thought in my head, geez, Wiz has lost his marbles here. But he's a great man. It was a great decision. Lovely pod pick there for Wiz. Boys, 2046 this week. Take all the chaos. Absolutely, mate. Well, I went up with a 1930. So you're taking anything over 2K this week, mate. Just a measly 2042. Just a measly 110 points in front of me, Trav. Thank you very much, mate. Makes me feel wonderful. If I have Gorn, Neil, Sheasel, Horn, Francis, do I hold all? Asked Tyson. Gorn, Neil, Sheasel, Horn, Francis. Okay, boys, what I'll change this question. If there's one that you had to trade out, who would you trade out? Who's your number one priority off this list? And again, it's tough because we don't know what your structure's like, mate, for your team, and this is very team dependent sometimes. But let's just lay all the blokes on the table. Who concerns you the most, boys, out of Gawn, Neil, Sheasel, and Horn Francis?
Well, I think Horn Francis is the one that concerns me the most, but I just had a look at his price. He's dropped to 496. And I said before it's going to be hard to go up from him. It's even harder now. He's lost 40K. I wasn't expecting him to lose that much. So, like, Sheasel still has 590K price tag to his name. You can spend 5K to go to a Whitfield right now. And get off that Sheasel one. Sheasel has a 181 break even with a potential Jordan tag this week. So that's why I think Sheasel is the one I would trade. But if you're asking who I'm most concerned about, it's Horn Francis because he looks a shadow of himself right now. But I just don't think it's practical to get out of him at that 490 price tag unless you're going to a Baz, to a Marich, to a Humphrey, or even a Thilthorpe. It's tough.
Man.
It's hard because I'm literally playing with trades at the moment, and damn, the Sheasel to Whitfield is juicy.
It's good, isn't it? It looks very nice.
Don't put this shit in my head.
West Coast and St Kilda next 2 DR. West Coast and St Kilda.
It's cruel. It's just a cruel game sometimes. It's cruel. I don't know why I play it. Oh, well, but is it Sheasel? Neil, I must admit, Neil does concern me. I can't jump off Neil playing the top. I just can't do it.
Not against Richmond.
I can't. Oh, look, I feel for you, Tice. I've got all but Gawn. Ownership for you boys. Anyone got all of them?
I've got all 4. Yeah.
You've got all 4, JG. How about you, Rook?
Don't have Neil.
Don't have Neil. So 3, 3, and 4. So we're feeling your pain there, Tice.
Yep.
Yep. Everyone already talking Humphrey and Marrick, but is Simpkin a viable option up forward? Yeah, we've talked a bit about Simpkin, mate. Look, I suppose he's never pushed out an elite average. I don't like his CBA rate, and I don't know if the way he's scoring is sustainable without that CBA rate. Boys, is there any last thoughts that you want to add to Simpkin? Because we may get a couple more questions about him. Is there anything you want to close the convo on with? Is it the fact that we've just got so many other options that are almost half his price? Is that why we're off him, or you're off him anyway?
Yeah, probably. I think the cash perspective of Supercoach is like really key to running that marathon that we speak about. If you dry up your cash gen, or you don't have, like, I've made the mistakes where I paid top dollar last season for every player and barely had any cash in the bank, and it was shocking because you couldn't do anything, and you were pretty much locked into plays that you might have mistakenly started, or you were 500-5K off getting the must have, and it was just painful. So I think Simpkin, I mean, does Wardlaw affect him when he comes back?
Well, I'm just looking at that right now because I think it's relevant. 2 to 3 for Wardlaw.
Good
2
point.
to 3.
Because I think the movement will be Wardlaw will come back to the middle. Where does Powell go?
Yeah, he was disappointing, wasn't he, Powell, actually, today? For those people that went that pod and thought, let's bring Tommy in, ouch, that one would have hurt. Yeah, look. Do we actually... Yeah, obviously, and this I think is obvious in saying you're buying him as a keeper. I can't, looking at my crystal ball to round 24, I cannot really see Jai Simpkin's name being right up there with the averages. I think there's going to be blokes that get forward status that will outdo him. I think that some of the mid prices have a fair chance if things go well. You've already got your Rankins, your Baz, your McRae's, your Daniels. I just don't think we need him. But look, follow your gut. Yep, if you think that's the right way, my friend.
It'd be a nasty pod pick that ruins all of us.
If it goes wrong, then it really goes wrong, doesn't it? Carl Meany, how are you, champion? G'day, fellas. Left the off trainer and had Slammons, Sammy Davidson's trapped on the bench with the Ian Hewitt on field for 14.5 seconds of pure horror. You poor bugger, mate. I tell you what. That's unlucky, isn't it? So no trainer, no Davidson. I suppose glass half full approach, mate. You own them, and you know they're going up in price. So yeah, it's that rookie roulette that can be an absolute killer at times. James, need to skip one this week. Anna Maria, Spice, Baz, and Humphrey. Which one do I fade? Oh, I'm getting Moraes. I'm getting Baz. And I think Humphrey or Bice is maybe team dependent even. Boys, any strong thoughts on that one?
I completely agree with what you said.
Yeah, I mean, we were all looking at Bice because we had no faith in Trainer, Pryor, or Reed, and this round they've all
That's
come
fine,
out and
yeah.
gone, "Hey, I'm actually a viable option." So I think
Yeah.
Bice has to, because like we've seen a lot of chaos in the mid section. Like you had Lindsay go down, you had Nevitt as a sub, you had Hewitt as sub, you had Camporelli get dropped. Like all of our mid rookies have now kind of disappeared slightly, while our defensive rookies are now kickstarting their cash gen. So I think like I'm probably opting to miss Bice with my trades this week. So
Very fair, mate. Very, very fair. Carl, American Humphrey, could you condone turning JHF, Ben Patton, and a little kitty? He's a little kitty.
Money in the
Kitty
bank.
Coleman. Is it? No.
Coleman? Little kitty.
Little,
I'm
I'm
not too
assuming
sure.
Little Kitty is just Money in the Bank.
And a little
Oh.
kitty. Oh, I'm an idiot. It's getting late, mate, on a bloody Sunday night here. Lucky we got you here, rookie.
I just straight away thought of Kitty Coleman. I don't know why.
Jesus. Carl should be answering questions if he's got Kitty Coleman. Now, Carl is a very good man. Sorry, so on it, American Humphrey, could you condone turning JHF, Ben Payton, into those two? I don't know. Before we started talking on the pod, I didn't know anything about Marek's game or haven't been tracking his role, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask. But I'll tell you what, Carl, the 254 people that are tuning in. Thank you very much, everyone. To everyone, we'll obviously do the potty during the week, but I'll do the stock market during the week. So I'll talk with some of the great content creators out there. May even get them to help me this week with some of my scripts, opinions, and all the rest. But we'll talk about all this sort of stuff. It's very hard at the moment with so many options. We've just finished the round. A lot of water to go under the bridge with injuries, for example. So we'll answer all these questions, but it may take a little bit later in the week, I think. 2034 to James, scale back to 2016. Unlucky, mate, but not as bad as me, so that'll make you feel better. Patton, I think look, Patton's a little handy piece to have because he's got that defensive forward status. So I know have you got him still, JG, or did you, because you reversed that trade, didn't you? You've still got him at the moment, don't you?
I traded him and then reversed it to get that Davidson 129, which so happy I did. Those spike scores, especially from rookies, are so crucial in best 18 to separate yourself. With the bad scores dropping out anyway. But I think he's on the move this week. Those 2.6K trade, 2.6K in the bank trade that I can afford is Patton. It's Patton, Lindsay, and Sheasel to Whitfield, Moraes, and Humphrey. So I really like that.
Sounds
I really
so
like it.
good, man. That sounds ridiculously good to me.
And the Sheasel to Whitfield's just a luxury, though. Like I probably won't do it in the end, but yeah.
It'd be so tempting, mate, though. I just the thought of it is unbelievable.
Mate, I want to hold on to my 1%, so I'm highly considering going Whitfield to Cecil and then just opting out of some rookies just to keep like in this area. Because if I don't, bye-bye. It's gone.
It's tempting.
It's a good play, and I think just generally for anyone that's watching, sometimes your rank also depends the way that you can go with your trades or the way that you should. We don't know whichever way we should go, but for example, what Rookie's saying is he wants to make moves now. He's currently in the top 1K to stay right up there. Okay, he doesn't want to just necessarily go with the creator. He wants to maybe do something different. So yeah, just something to think about. Trades compared to rank. Jonas, we need a Supercoach TV guide, list all the Supercoach content creators' live streams and release times to other videos that can be updated. That would be really cool, man. I'm going to try to do this every Sunday, but that's I did like a random live today in between my boys' footy matches. So yeah, that's a really good idea, mate, because there's great content going on there at the moment. Jux just texted in on Twitter, Rookie.
That was about the link to get into the backstage
Oh,
and all that fun
beautiful.
stuff. So,
Sorry, mate.
yeah.
I'm so behind you. It's not funny. Boys, it is. What's the time? It's 10:50. How?
Big stream from the DR.
Okay. This. Oh, I had no idea because I can't see all the comments. We would have. Oh, there's
probably another 2 hours worth of comments.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Look, why don't we go another 10, 15 minutes, see how we go. But I want to get through as many as possible. I just did not expect this, guys. Like, we've still got over 220 people watching at the moment. So shout out to all you legends. For anyone that's not familiar with the great man down below, Rookie Coach, make sure that you check out his YouTube channel. Top 1%, if you don't mind, and a bit of a head bobble at the moment. And I'm sure most of you do know the man. Is it right or left? To the right or left up the top with me here. The great
looks like right
JG.
on my screen.
Right, yeah. See, I should know as a teacher. That's the trick that you do. I should know that. But the great JG, formerly of Supercoach Hub, and we have actually teamed up with the blokes in the Supercoach Hub, which we're super excited about. But JG is an official member of the Swordplay family now, and
Very
been
exciting.
a big fan of JG for a long time. So yeah, absolutely stoked to have this great man on board, and the great man Rookie Coach joining us for our live as well. Absolutely stoked to have you guys on. Paddy Connolly. Worth trading Track this week to use his money for Humpty and Bailey Sniff. Bailey Sniff. I know, I can tell you this, that the great JB from Dr. Supercoach traded out of Petraka before this week. So he'd seen enough after 2 weeks, made his mind up that Track wasn't the pick for him and actually got out of him. So all I'll say is if JB's off him, I rate him highly. Great man. And shout out to the boys from Dr. Supercoach, like my brothers over there as well. But yeah, if it's good enough for JB, I think it's good enough for anyone. But you are locking in a loss. I don't know how much coin is lost at the moment. But for Humpty and Bailey Sniff, I almost might. But I hate trading out premiums like Track. I hate doing it, but... any strong thoughts, boys? Track to Humpty and Basilenka.
Is he still a chance to get forward status, Track? Because that could be very influential in the decision. I'll have a quick look at what he was. If Rookie wants to speak about his thoughts while I try to quickly look at what his percentage was the first 2 rounds of forward.
Yeah, I think I personally, my take on going early or making a move early on DPP status alone is risky in itself because we've got 2 more games because it happens after round 5 before round 6. So we've got 2 more games. So they could either fall just shy of it and then you've essentially trapped yourself into a pick if you're holding it. Or if you trade into someone hoping they get TPP, you've also trapped yourself there because if they miss the mark, you've now got, let's just say in the world, I think Chad Warner's a shoe-in for it, but let's just say Chad Warner was around 30% and you're very confident that he's going to get that 35%. Comes in after round 5, 34%, doesn't get TPP, and now you've lost a primo spot in the midfield to a Chad Warner, for example.
Yeah.
Like that can happen. So unless it's a Chad Warner situation where they're so far beyond the 35%, it's an absolute lock. I have no issues with that. Track's a tricky one because he is in that grey area of potentially hitting it, potentially not hitting it.
And
Melbourne are just in shambles.
I echo your thoughts now. I've just had a look and yeah, it's that 35% threshold. In the first 2 rounds, Track only had 27% forward. So he's probably nowhere near it. I don't know how much he had round 3. Even Merritt 31% to first 2 rounds is closer than Track. But as you said, Chad Warner first 2 rounds 39% forward. So that could be our F1 right there, Chad Warner.
We need to book a spot for him, don't we? Really?
Yeah.
The Chadley.
See, Marek holding the spot for Warner.
Oh yeah, there we go. Keeping the seat warm. Love it, mate. Steph. Hey, Steph, thinking a Horn Francis, Sampa Pepper, Nevitt for Smith, Merrick, and Humphreys. Oh, that's a juicy trio of mid prices there, isn't it? Sampa Pepper, Nevitt's an interesting one. I rate the bloke. Like if he's not sub, I want him. If he's sub, I don't want him. But I'm holding Nevitt for now. I think. I hate that scores in his price cycle though.
And with Power Pepper, I actually like he's frustrated me as well. I had that 18 in the non-best 18 round score on my field, but
Me too.
I mean his break even's -13. He's got Saints at home this week, so I don't think that's as must trade out as everyone's saying. Like a -13 break even with a pretty favourable matchup. It's interesting to see so many people saying SPP out.
And in our chat, JG, remember at half time, that was looking good. Remember he got that, it was that tackle where he just looked a little bit, I don't know if it was groggy or whatever, right towards the end of the half there. And we were celebrating at that time. We thought, here we go, like a nice 75, 80s, definitely on the cards. He was involved. I really rated his game at that point. I thought he's having an impact. Great stuff, right? I'm a really happy owner. And then I don't know if it was that instant that really affected him. I'm not too sure, but looked nothing like it in the second half. But goes to show that the game previous, so the game against Richmond, as well as that first half of last week, he's got it in him to deliver something half decent for us. So I wouldn't be too quick jumping off him myself, mate. Rookie coach is cheating on his better half live on air.
They're referring to Supercoach Pro.
Oh, well, Brad should be. Brad's welcome on here anytime. We need to get Brad on. I tell you what, that man in our chat is a menace, isn't he? Like, I'll tell you what, some of his. I won't give away St Kilda stories and all that sort of stuff, but he's a menace, Brad. I love him. He's a great man. Purely on making money, asked Kev. Need to order Humphreys, Bice, and Marias. I think we've discussed a lot of this, haven't we, boys? I think a lot of these questions here we've sort of gone through, but probably for me, Marias. I think we can all agree Marias is probably out of the three the one that you do need to bring in. And I think we've answered this. I think the other one is very team dependent. If you need someone up forward, if you've got a Liam O'Connell like me from St Kilda, then maybe you do bring in a Bice if you want to do a bit of a sideways that way. But then again, if you're out of form, Francis, Humphreys could be the man. I think we've discussed it pretty well for you there, Kev. Ange, how are you, mate? I absolutely love Ange. FASD, make sure you check that out. Hey, legends, great to see you all. 2016 here this week. Well done, Ange, in the 2000s. Very happy for you, mate. Great stuff. Hope you're well, mate. Tempted to get Real in the next couple of weeks, but I don't know. I'm going to get deja vu from last year, and he starts going 80s. We talked about that again, boys, didn't we? About how Real just loves to start off the year like a house on fire and then just disappoint all of us. Traded Will Ashcroft to Sherry to get rid of Flynn R2. Painful this week, but it should be a positive point trade over the season. That is super unlucky, isn't it? You know, Sherry goes and gets, do we say injured, but he was obviously sore. Ashcroft goes off tap, wasn't looking fantastic in the first week. Bad luck, Shell, but getting Sherry in his side, I think, is a really good move. And Flynn to Sherry, I think, was the logical thing to do. Just go up to someone guaranteed, I think. Thoughts on trading George Hewitt in? Wow. I have not thought about it.
Josh was in my stream, I think it was last night, and all he talked about was George Hewitt. So he loves George Hewitt. The stats are actually there. He's a sneaky pod, but no one's got him.
Yeah.
Back-to-back 120s. Wow. He's gone under the radar.
Joshy's on here. Joshy, next time join the stream, mate. Be good to have you on. But you're asking my personal. I have no thoughts on George Hewitt, mate, because my thoughts are with the Sheasel to Whitfield moves and the Humpties and the Bazzers and the Marricks now and the Mariases and just George Hewitt compared to the other options, mate. Just not high on my list. What's happening with Sheasel scoring? We've talked about that, mate. Just the Mr. Fix-It man at the moment, but moved to halfback. Apparently, that last quarter scored really well. Do us a favour, Clarko. Help us out there, mate. Shelley, thoughts on getting Humphrey Merrick this week, getting Baz and Mills next week, or is it more important to get Baz? Baz next week, you're going to be paying up a fair bit extra. I'd be getting Baz this week, and then maybe picking out of one of the pods. That'd be my advice. Just join the crowd with Baz. I think go a little bit safe there, and then go with the other mid-price that you like. Would you boys give any other different advice to that? Are you more in the pod route, or pretty much agree?
I've just done my I just recorded my video and did a little trade kind of thing, and I reckon
Ooh,
I
okay.
reckon I'm going with Baz and Marriage.
Oh, so he's caved. He got Baz in.
Okay.
He's
I'll
going
put-
Baz Linker.
I'll put Baz in the midfield because all our mid rookies have just gone to crap. So, and then I'm gonna have Marriage in the flex position with Hall and Davidson still on field. I think that might be the play, but yeah.
Nice. Well, you went through with your Marriage, mate, which I'm very impressed with, mate. I'm very, very impressed with
Marriage. He's the one. He's the ticket, mate.
on it, just like Bice's life last week. Foz Sardis Garcia. Oh, Hugo, we haven't got time to rant on Hugo Garcia. I started that bloke.
He scored. He went
Got it down. Let it fly. Let it fly. Get out the frustration.
This is what I picked, mate. This like when he's given opportunity. When he's given opportunity, like I thought he would, but I should have been smarter with the tog. But you wouldn't believe it. Like Jack Steele's out. This guy just steps into that role, steps into it. Like in the role, he's a good player and he can score well. And I knew that, but I should have looked at the tog. I should have looked at the ins for that round one game and knew that it wasn't a good pick. But it just pisses me off when you see him just do what you wanted him to do when he was in your side. But yeah, good on you, Hugo. Well done, mate. Contemplating risk and going short Foz, Horn Francis into Mary Comfrey and Bailey Smith. Well, it's a risky move in a way, but but they're all players that we're contemplating this week, I suppose. Sure, trade Gorn and Horny Boy. Don't want to get out of primos. Horny was saying maybe. Look, Gorn's up to you, mate. Like it's a tricky one, isn't it? It's a really tricky one.
Sure is.
All right. I'm going to turbo this, boys. All right. 8 from 8 from James the Tipping. Well done, son. What score makes 1%? Do you boys have a rough idea about a 1% round score?
What percent was JG?
What were you, JG?
I'm top 1% in 2.1K. So I think it's like 3,000 something. I actually don't know.
What did you end up scoring again?
I scored 20. I'm not saying it again. This is bait. Oh, here we go.
Absolutely, it was bait, mate. Absolutely, it was bait. I wish people could bait me because I scored a big one, but no one's got any bait for me. It's just you have the old dirty fish to you. Theo, 1959. How did you go, fellas? Hope you're all well. Yeah, mate. Not too well myself, but the other blokes around here got a bit of a head wobble. We'll go back to that one for a sec. I won't do that anymore. Yaron, I'm actually coping watching you guys in my TV and Brad on my iPhone. I feel terrible. I didn't even know Brad was going on at the moment, but Brad will have to join us next week. We're going to do this next weych for sure with the Great Man Supercoach Pro. Those power spuds in the forward line are doing my head in. Plus, no more chocolates for Neil. Nah, tell you what, mate. To bed with no supper for Lockie this week. Top 3 primo tradings this week. Lockie Whitfield is 1. Are we saying we go on all the defenders at the moment? We go on Zorko.
Yeah, Zorko, Sinclair, Whitfield.
And Whitfield.
And Rankin. Actually, Rankin's been...
Rankin's big,
awesome.
yeah.
Add Rankin in.
Yeah.
All right, so Rankin and the 3 big boys and midfielders, we're just scared shitless.
I mean, if you don't have him, TDK, but
TDK, that's a good shout in the ruck. That's a good shout, mate.
A lot of people have been saying how they've got like no midfielders over 100. I think the loss of Bond and Butters was just massive to this year. We've lost 2 of the best primos, and then obviously Dacos had his bye as well. Like there's just so many guys that are gone. Golden's gone. He was even possibly someone that could go big as well. Like all the Neil's started really badly. Sarong has been pretty average. There's not many top scoring guys anymore in that midfield.
Not at all, mate. Not at all.
Just Rowell and Anderson.
That's right. Should have jumped on the Gold Coast boys. Should have started Humphrey as well. Well, Dan Green's pretty happy. 2020 this week. Sinclair captain. Oh, don't you just love that? Well done, mate.
God.
I traded Sheasel to Whitfield this week. Kevy's on. I'll tell you what, he's ahead of all of us at the moment doing that. Well done, Kev. Great trade, mate. Fabled, if you get rid of Sheasel, Horn, Francis, it's good for the round 12 bye. Yes, good point, mate. Beware the round 16 bye if going Whitfield, Zorko, Holmes, etc. That's a good point because I think lots of people are focusing on that round 12 bye because originally that was the Butters, the Bont, and it still is the Butters and the Bont bye. But yeah, I haven't looked too much apart from that. So round 16, we're going to have to check out our buys. That is great advice, Fabled. Appreciate that, man. Hewitt up to Merrick for me this week. Lindsay to Langford. Yep, all good, brother. We all know Cheese is getting the tag. Oh, Cheese, mate. Tell me what you're doing, Cheese, with your score this week, and I'll absolutely follow you, mate. I think Will Ashcroft's a great pod with Neil Coppin tags. Only 18% own Richmond next. Absolutely, brother. Go Marrick, lads. He's what you'd hoped Short would be. Gee, Jack's on the Marrick train as well. My internet chopped out down when I was on chat. All good, ladies, man. It was great to have you on, brother. Thanks for joining us, mate. We'll catch you again next week. Sorry, guys. I'm absolutely turboing now because there's so many here. Any chance Ashcroft gets stuck forward all week so we can pick him in the forward line? Wouldn't that be lovely, mate? Wouldn't that be lovely? But no, I think he's a midfielder at the moment, mate, particularly with Chucky going down. Well, K-Matt looks unreal with the headband. Oh, Yep's taken offense. Now, I said that bald men shouldn't be wearing headbands. You got to have the flowing hair. The coach has got a bit of the nice hair going on the back there behind the hat. So, yeah, apologies if I did offend any Camden McIntosh fans. But come on, I don't rate it myself. If Alex Caruso thinks he's got any chance in stopping Chucky Neal, I'll chew my hat. Alex Caruso, love that, mate. I'll chew my hat as well. 130 for Chucky. Is Chuck going to get forward status? Talked a bit about that. A little bit dicey at the moment, mate. Classic Simpkin and Rao baiting all these Supercoach teams. It is absolutely classic, isn't it, what Real and Simpkin are doing at the moment? And I reckon we'll come back to this comment in 2 months, Burners, and go Burners was absolutely on the ball there. Fabspark even hit Humphrey, sat at M9 F7 at that price. What do we think he can average under or over 85? Well, if you're picking him, you're hoping it's 85, aren't you? Boys, do you want to throw out? I'm not. It's very hard. I wouldn't even be brave enough. Anyone brave enough to throw out an average for Humphrey? A predicted average? I'd have no idea. I'd be guessing. I'd be making up numbers for the sake of some number.
I'd be guessing as well.
78. Oh, look, you've had the guts. All right. I'll go 82 then if you're going 78.
That's exactly what I was going to go. But I'll go 80. I'll go 81.
I'll go this 85. I think it's breakout year. Even I'm looking now. If he scores a 72, he goes up 55k this round, and I reckon he can go higher than that. And then with the Tigers and North after this round, I think he's going to make a fair bit of coin if he's not a good scoring option. So, yeah, it's tough. I haven't actually looked at Marich yet. Not sure what his break even ended up coming out as.
Looked at him first. Come on now.
Minus 37. So Humphreys is better. And yeah, Humphrey's got a better run, but who knows?
Oh man, I thought it was going to be such an easy just get Baz in this week for me, but it's going to be carnage. Happy face 2031 this week. You would have a happy face on, mate. Lindsay at flex, Reeds 106 stuck on the bench. Unlucky, but hey, great score nonetheless. Thoughts on getting Race in? Yes, we're all a big yes for that. I can speak for everyone confidently there. Simo was pretty happy with my 2045 this week. You should be, mate. Yeah, congratulations, buddy. Sheasel to Sinclair. Well, it's either Sinclair or Whitfield if you're trading him out. Oscar, when did teams come out last week? Like, is he talking like
20 Thursday?
Wednesday? Yeah. So 6:20, mate. If that's what you're talking about, when did teams come out?
If he's talking about bloody lockout.
Sorry,
lockout. That was about 11:30.
It was ridiculous, wasn't it?
They did pretty well tonight, to be fair, actually. It wasn't that bad.
They did.
Last week was disgraceful.
Absolutely, mate. Anthony, hey dear, didn't you slip over 2 Supercoach cats up? Yeah, that was the one before the Swizz's phone. I haven't had a great track record. I'll leave that one. Go to the key for that one again, I think. Look, I can't say it on air. I have to tell you boys a couple of stories off air. No, I'm not. Yeah, no. Off air. We'll go off air for that one because I need to be very careful. Fozzie, hey boys, good. I'm laughing at my own stuff here. Like, Fozzie, good to catch you as well, brother. Boys, what is it? Shit, we're 11:10. All right, guys. No offense if you need to go at any stage. I'm just looking at the comments here, and they are like, they're thick. They are thick.
Did anyone
Such a
end up
good
coming
word to
backstage to jump in? Or
We had Causa in, and there were a couple of people that I was about to get in, but I don't know if they were a little bit nervous or whatever, or waiting for us to stop speaking. But I reckon there were about 5 in there. Yeah, we had the great man Causa, and obviously you gentlemen coming on as well, which has been the best thing. Sligo, Coop, that is a massive pod, mate. He hasn't been getting talked about, Sligo, but it deserves a lot more respect. I tell you what. We're sitting at 484 as history buffed in this Godfather Cash League, knocked off 9th place in the knockout. Ooh. Well done, mate. That's fantastic. I'm involved in that as well. I reckon someone's got my bounty this week for sure. Looking forward to the injury report. Noah Belter, jail.
It reminds me of a very similar Geelong situation. Finger injury.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I need to look at these comments before. Supercoach. I won't read that one out, but you can read that one on the screen. Medial sprain, not strain. So that's good. A sprain, I'm guessing, is better than a strain. We need Jonathan here for this for these injury reports with his doctor stuff at the moment. Quinny, career high hitouts to women's for Jackson tonight against BJ Williams should bode well for Finn. Okay, that's a good point. Well done there, Quinny. So there may be hope for the Flinny holders. Medial ligament knee injury recovery time is between 3 days and 8 weeks. Is between 3 days to 8 weeks.
That's a big time frame.
Big range.
That helps.
Shit.
I'm going to make my trades based on that exact.
Yeah.
That's gold. I reckon that's the most commented of the night.
I might be
Did
back
Chris Scott write? Did Chris Scott write?
Aussie's Chris Scott.
Aussie actually is part of the medical team at Geelong Cats.
I've got with the bandage on the knee.
That is great. 3 days to 8 weeks. I love that. Good on you, Foz. Apps reset, lads. Trades are live. Oh, so that's how far behind, mate. Thanks, mate. Jeez. Marek before Humphrey. Marek before Humphrey. Marek, we're taking the kick-ins. Yep, God was mentioned that. Groin for McGovern. Gov did a groin. Okay, so it's out. Sorry. McGovern groin issues. Sent you message heaps of Insta. Never heard back. Coop. Cooper Gretch.
They can't be the real one, surely.
Scoopsy. If it's the real Scoops, don't excite me here. If it is a real Scoops, I literally Insta these days to me. I literally, if I post a video, I just copy the thumbnail, put the link there, and just for advertising type stuff. I'll check my DMs. I'm hoping this is the real Scoopy Doopy. Hope you're well, Scoops. Go Sanders. It's open. Shit, I'm behind. Oh my god. Supercoach open. JFK into 500k. Simpkin, obviously, about my first pick since Picker. Seems very obvious, but appeared not. Jimmy was on the ball before anyone else started Simpkin. That's massive. Rank 4. Thank you, Lukey Jackson. CWT.
Well, wait.
Massive.
Well, wait.
For the
JD, JG, you've started at the top. Rookies come in. You got CWT. That's just got a bit of a head wobble now. So, that's massive. CT. Tick over 3,000 rank. Nice, Fev. Nice, brother. Lots of CTs. Well done. Top 2% this round for well done, mate. 470th. Well done, dead end. Nice, man. Davidson went up over 76k. Negative 88 break even. That is absolutely fantastic. Why is Stuart be gone up if he didn't play? Stuart wouldn't have change prices, would he?
No, I think he meant flew up to Brisbane.
Oh, flew up. Mate, ask Chris Scott.
It's Chris Scott, yeah.
We all knew, Alec, we all knew that he wasn't playing. We all knew this, Alec. But for some reason, Scott's trying to troll us and act like we're absolute fools here, mate. We're more clever than that. Yeah, lots of well done. And a CWT, thanks for all the congrats there. Well done, buddy. Good on you, mate. Dropped out the top 2K. Bad luck, Surf Coast. You'll be back, man. Thoughts on DeConning? Could we trade him to Bice? Yeah, I don't see much of a future for SDK. Does anyone else see much of a future there with the pick? Can we call it? I know it's early, Crow, but we're calling it a failed pick at the moment, probably. 1978 for Driz. What up, mate? Lock, here he is. How are you, man? Barely reached 1800. Shocked only dropped to 20K in the rankings. Similar to me, like I was shocked that I only dropped that much, mate. I'm just going to get the really okay.
We're getting there.
Thoughts on Dale? Oh, beautiful, mate. Beautiful. Thoughts on Dale? Well, I'm shattered that I own him at the moment, mate. I'm hoping he'll come good. Look, you don't trade into Dale at the moment, but as an owner, the word isn't falling over for me anyway. I'm still okay with it. Jai, ranked 300 with no boosts used yet. I've been very lucky. Bugger off, Jai. I've used 2, mate. Congratulations, buddy. That's awesome, mate. If you haven't used a boost yet, I think that's a real advantage. Spillsy's got a bit of a head wobble with the fact that he hasn't boosted yet. So, yeah, you're in a good position there. And well done, 300 rank. That's awesome, brother. Well done. Simo, top 1% score this week. Well done. First time ever. It's a great feeling, man. Congratulations, mate. It's always great, isn't it, where you log in after the last match and you see that top 1% score. Yes, gives you, just pumps you up, mate. So up to 16,347, and that's a really solid rank at this stage of the season. So congratulations, man. Jacob scored decently there, over 2,000. Well done, mate. The ladies' man ended up going 1931. Well done, brother. Use 2 boosts. Do I stick with underperforming players, track Sheasel, short, SDK? Well, yeah, we did talk about this before, mate, that none of us are really comfortable going to your 3 boost type situation. It's just, a little bit uneasy, I think. 2005 for Toucan Chucky. Thank God for Luke Jackson. Well done, Chucky. Well done, Dogger. Would you trade Foz to Harvey Langford? I would trade Foz to almost anyone at the moment, but we're saying Moraes definitely over Langford. Boys, Harvey Langford?
I'd still go Moraes.
Yeah.
Sure,
yeah, you go Moraes. If you can fit both in, maybe, but like as I said before, for 18K less, if you missed out on Murphy Reed, I'd go there with that minus 60 break even compared to Langford's 2 break even. So
Great
if you're
point,
in that
mate.
market, probably go Murphy Reed.
Yeah, like it. And let's be honest, Reed's not, and I'm not saying Langford is either, but Reed, his job security looks rock solid after the last few weeks, doesn't it? Really, I think he's really played his way into that side. But they said Wardlaw could see VFL first, so that's just in regards to Simpkin and anything would be affected there. Oh, the track. He's been super disappointing, Obi. Super disappointing, mate. I'm finding it really hard to give advice on track because I hate saying trade out your premiums, but he really is underperforming.
It's so clear he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to be
there. Isn't it? And can I just add, Clary on the weekend, I've never seen that bloke so fumbly. It was like he was playing with, with a piece of soap, and that's why I didn't want to bend over to pick it up. I reckon. That's shocking, that joke, isn't it? The old wet soap, bend over to pick it. All right, I'll leave that one as well, boys.
Get into those hours. It's Supercoach After Dark now, boys.
It's getting late. Picking up the wet soap, crikey. Go on JHF to I'm loving my own work here, boys. It's really bad. That's Drew's Gaming. Going JHF to Simpkin for easy cash gen. Simpkins break even's 55. I wish you all the best, mate. I sincerely do. I hope for those people that go with Simpkin that he works out. I'm just not confident at the price, mate. But good luck, mate. He's playing some good footy as a captain of the club, and I actually gave him a little bit of stick. I said that he's probably the most underwhelming captain of any AFL club, and that wasn't to have a dig at him. It was just like, well, you look at some of the other captains out there, and it's like, and you get to Jai Simpkin, and I'm just a little bit underwhelmed, but I'm rapt that he's really stepping up and playing captain's game. So well done. I'm sure that people inside Arden Street rate him a lot higher than I do, and I'm probably not giving him enough respect there. Is anyone keeping SDK in his break even of 95 with Gorn up next? I don't own him. Do any of you blokes own SDK?
No.
No, can't answer it. Sorry, mate. But if I did own him, SDK, I'd be tempted to go to one of these bias type selections. Bowie, is there any more meat on the bone for Bowie now, or was it a fact that you had to get him last week? Or has he got the role that he can maintain, a steady average moving forward? Someone's got to have the role. And is that man Jake Bowie? It could be.
He's still 385k, 96, 97, 116, and a break even of 16. I don't know. I still don't think there's enough meat on the bone there.
Yeah, because you're not picking Bowie for a cash gen at the moment. You may look at him and say, look, you can earn me 50, 60k maybe, give me some half decent scores on field for a while, but probably not for me. I think if you were keen, it had to be this week. You needed to jump ahead a little bit, mate. SDK first one out this week, buys for me. Connor said, bugger you, SDK. Tomo, which mid rookie would you trade between Campo, Sardis, and Nevitt, assuming Lindsay's around 2 weeks? Well, assuming Lindsay's around 2 weeks, I'd probably keep Lindsay. I think we all agree on that, do we, boys? That 2 weeks or not? Are we saying that? Well, we're waiting 2 weeks. He's got that 9 in the system, which is going to affect his next 2. Oh, that might be a different conversation, but
the first break even I looked at was his to see how much it blew out to, and it ended up blowing out to 28. And to do my trades, I needed to either trade him or Power Pepper, and that Power Pepper minus 13 break even. I just think I'd rather hold him.
Saint.
Yeah, and yeah, I know, like a 28 break even at that price, he's kind of lost that big cash generation that we're expecting now. Like he'd still make heaps, but yeah,
I'm going to give myself. I'm going to give myself some advice here, because this is what I need to remember. It hurts so much, because I know that lots of teams would have bought him in this week or even last week. I don't think there's many that actually started with him that I know anyway. But I don't know if you can hear my little two-year-old going off in there as well. He's going absolutely nuts at the moment. Feel sorry for his mum. But one thing that's really, really tough, right, is when you're trading a player and you have to trade him the week after. That is so tough compared to if you actually start with a bloke and trade him out. It doesn't seem like it hurts as much. But at the end of the day, if Lindsay's in your side now, it doesn't matter if you traded him in last week or you started him. He's in your side. So that's something I think coaches need to keep in mind, because it's so tough. I just think the mental side of trading a player in and out straight away is much tougher than trading out a bloke you started with, just the mental side of the game there. So yeah, you got to take the emotion out of it. But getting back to the question, I suppose, Campo, Sardis, or Nevitt, if we had to trade one out, you're getting the most money on Sardis. Campo is a sideways. Nevitt, you're making a little bit of coin. I rate Nevitt as the better pick, per se, myself. Well, we've got a Geelong supporter and an Essendon supporter here. I know you probably don't want to do Carlton, Jack being a Collingwood supporter, mate. But what do we reckon, boys? Which one would you trade out? I would say for me, I would go Sartis, because he's got the most cash on his head, and I'm worried about some incoming players like your Parish, for example. JG, do you have a preference here, mate?
Well, that Sardis injury broke my heart. I was so big on that Sardis pick all preseason, and I really wish I could have held him, but I ended up having to get rid of him. Just it was what it was, but I wish I kept him, to be honest, because I think he's only going to miss this bye round this week, and I think he might come straight back in, even with Parish back. Us winning doesn't help him too much, but I just think he's that better. He's that much better than Hobbs, that much better than Menzies, that much better than so many players that we've got in our side right now. Canberra Rally, though, like his break-even's like minus 41. I hope he can get back in. I really hope he can get back in after a third Carlton loss. I don't know how he was the scapegoat out of those first 2 losses. How he was the one that got dropped. Like Doherty looks a shadow of himself. But if he's the one that isn't, if he's not picked next week, then I'd probably go Camporelli though. If he wasn't back, just because he's a dead rookie.
Fair.
But yeah,
Fair.
it's hard. It's hard predicting what Scott's going to do with Sardis when Parrish is back and when he's fit again.
Rook, were you as surprised as all of us as a Geelong supporter that Nev was sub?
Yeah, I was even more surprised to see Mullen named on field.
There you go.
Well, I don't
What about the other
understand. I think the clear difference in pace of game from Geelong with having Nevitt on as a sub was very, very clear. Like as soon as Nevitt, like he had 19% time on ground and still scored 20, which is ridiculous. Like Hewitt had, let me actually just have a quick look while I talk about this. But essentially from a Catter's point of view, I don't think Chris Scott makes that happen. I think the game was a unique condition where they wanted to bring in O'Connor. They needed to replace Stewie. There was a lot of different factors to play into that. Hopefully Stewart does come back so the team can get back to that normal structure, which then I don't see Nevitt being the sub. Like the only someone had to move to bring O'Connor in was eventually and also have Atkins then in the middle as well because they needed to put pressure on Neil. So there were a few different. It wasn't Geelong's typical game plan, essentially. So Nevitt was the unfortunate one that had to move. So I don't see Nevitt being the sub again. I mean, there's all chances that Chris Scott. Let's just keep that in mind. We're talking about here. But I think it'd be really poor form from a coach when Nevitt's had such an impact on their style of game that he's sub against. I would put Nevitt as like the one you keep it at the top. I think Sardis, sure. I see the reason to make the cash. Obviously, there's a lot of question marks around Parrish's return. I think this is one of those ones where you kind of have to wait for team sheets because if Campo's named, I think you have to keep him.
Absolutely,
If Campo's named, you get rid of Lindsay straight away because you probably want that cash gen. You don't want to hold on. If Campo's not named, you get him out because
you know what?
If I have dead rooks,
we'll know nice and early in our chat as well. From a great man with a great source there as well. So we should get a bit of the early goss on that. So yeah, we one we can't share, but very lucky to have someone a little bit in the know there.
Insider information.
Insider information, exactly right, mate. Supercoach God, your take, mate. Give us one that you trade out. Who are you trading? Campo, Sartis, or the Nev?
Well, I trade out Sardis after round 1. So
there you go. All right.
I got out. He's probably the one I'd trade out first. To be fair, his round 2 game was pretty damn good. So Campo, I think I'm just gonna hold Campo. I think I feel like he's probably gonna come back this week. I think.
Hope so.
He hasn't even been bad. Like he was playing. He's been playing well. He's been like fitting the role fine. As the guys spelt his name there, he's Camperole. So
Camperole.
I think he'll be fine. You got to hold Nevitt. I don't know why they didn't play him in those conditions. Just that they're the best tackler on their team, pretty much. Maybe Atkins is, but gee, he'd be close. Just pretty ridiculous in my opinion when you have bloody Mullen playing. So, I think I don't know. I've made trades at the moment where I might be trading out Lindsay. So
that's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough.
So have I.
Just so I can get Moraes and I can get Lockie Whitfield for Jaden Short.
Oh boy, that's good. That's
wow.
Mate, I'd trade anyone out for that.
Do we want to hit at my trades? Because mine are juicy.
Come on, hit us.
I bring in the fridge last week and he's getting kicked out straight away. He's
He
got onto the field. He broke. His break even is 67. It was the worst trade of my season, and I'm canning it because I'm getting Whitfield in for him. Lindsay's going to Moraes, and Horny Man's going for Smith.
I'm loving this Whitfield trade.
Big moves going on. There are some big moves happening.
I mean, it is
fine.
funny. God's going short the Whitfield. Rookie's going Fraser Whitfield. I'm going.
That also means I keep
Sheasel.
Sheasel. So
Yeah.
Roberts is my D5.
Bugger off! I'm going to be the only one without Whitfield. This is ridiculous. This
West
is
Coast
so
and Saints next to DR. I'll keep saying it.
I'll tell you what I've done at the moment. So it's, what is it? We got Short to Whitfield. We got Lindsay to Moraes. And then we've got Foss to Marriage.
I love that.
Ooh.
How did you afford that? Great trades.
Yeah, I had about 220k in the bank. So
Yeah, they're good trades.
Wow. I've got boys. I've got no idea. My head is spinning at the moment with Marricks and Humpties and now Whitfields and bloody hell, boys. Dacos going to be considered this week for Finn. Now we already talked a little bit. We're probably want to wait a little bit, mate. For Dacos to come down with some of those tag games. I think Supercoach Kiss of Death 1,380. Well done, mate. And he's keeping JHF. If you pick Marrick, you'll get DPP. Very good point there, mate. Michael, he already has 4 DPP.
yeah, he does.
Not a great point, but Mike, I've done the same thing with Caleb Daniels so many times, and I've said yes, he's going to get defensive forward status, only to realize he already got the mid status, and I'm like, damn it, he would have been so good with the patterns and all the rest. We're saying Goldilocks, and the 3 bears. Maybe that's what we can call the live this week. We do the same thing. Goldilocks, the 3 bears.
Well, the kid's story seems to be a theme of this stream so far.
That's right.
Humpty.
I tell you what, all the characters, mate. Foz and Moraes to Patton and Bice. Yeah, I think most of us can say that's looking pretty good.
Yeah,
solid.
All right. Oh, these boys, I'll tell you, I've said this. All right, we're going to go 5 more minutes, right? 5 more minutes because I forgot I actually have to work tomorrow.
I thought you said that 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
I know, right? Do you know what thing? I hate not getting the people, right? I hate not getting the people's comments. And this is actually a true story, right? I was so stressed, like jumping in and out. The lovely lady Denise across the road has a job interview tomorrow, and she actually needs my camera and mic. And I said to her, I'm just doing this like quick talk back thing. I'll probably be like an hour, Denise. She's in her like 60s, right? It's now 11:33. She's like, no, I'll be up. You know, the lights should be on. Oh, poor old Denise, right? I do feel for her.
Denise.
Sorry, Denise. But I needed to
walk in,
in
like a corner chair, and then just like pop the lamp. Just be like,
where you been?
yeah.
The worst thing will be, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. That will be the hardest thing to cop, right? Because she gives us the homemade little sausages, the salamis, and all that sort of stuff, this lemon vodka stuff. She's awesome, Denise. So sorry, Denise. I'm going to have the good.
Vodka.
I do her lawns as a bit of a. I'm talking this crap and I need to get to these. Sorry, community. All right. Sorry, Denise. Shorty bought in Marrick this week. I tell you what, we need to get Shorty on one of these. We need Shorty on one of these. Issue is with full of stories. We'd never get to a single question, but story time with Shorty is one of the best things you can do, people. Let me tell you that. Love you, Shorty. Should I get Roberts or Holmes for SDK?
I reckon
Boys,
Roberts.
Yeah, Roberts because of the price. Like
Roberts with
Purely on
price.
Purely
Either way, I think you're getting a good player there, mate. Would you go Lindsay from Reyes or up to Marrick? If I had a choice, I'd be going safe for the cash from Reyes, but would you boys go for that extra score on field?
Yeah.
I get both, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm getting both.
Yeah.
I'm getting both. It's
yeah. Moraes is a must-have rookie, I reckon.
I reckon I'd get Marriage over a Bice.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Moraes. I thought take
I'd get
too far.
Moraes.
Too far. I don't
Moraes
mind a
before.
crash, but you're absolutely falling for him, mate. Head over heels if you're going him over Moraes.
You got to remember as well, Bice his score got so inflated from that goal. Towards the end of that game
didn't
as
it?
well.
It did.
So we wouldn't even probably be talking about Bice if he didn't kick that goal.
It was similar like that, Dale. That was great. That for Bice. I love that. Clear to major damage. Will be assessed to see if he plays next week. Okay, interesting. Get it, lads. Rookie, not Joshua trying to get everyone on our pod. Hewitt. I'm guessing you know what that means, mate. Also, boys, what are your thoughts on my pod, Richards? I'm sick of him.
I nearly
You're
picked
going to be
him.
my weapon.
I was that close.
He'll be
Oh,
fine. He'll be fine.
He'll
Richards
be
only
fine,
had
yeah.
a bad score because of his DE. That's literally it. He was still in the guts. He had I don't know, what was his CBAs?
He was still,
Otherwise, go. I'm looking at stats while you're still
yeah,
waiting
no,
for
he
it.
was still probably top 3 best on ground. Like he was everywhere. So I wouldn't even be worried about him, to be honest. He's an absolute jet.
And let's keep this in mind, right? So Ed's CBAs dropped because Kennedy's went up because it was like a rivalry matchup because it was his old club. I don't think that holds. Kennedy had 81% CBAs and Richards dropped down to 65, where previously Kennedy only had 58 and 42, while Richards had a minimum of 82 to 92. So I think they purely threw him in the guts because it was his old team and they wanted to make a point. So I think Richards will be fine. Don't stress.
All right. Very good advice, I tell you what, you guys. I can't get rid of Wayne. It plays like he has malaria. He is good, Jonas. I witnessed some battle with Jonas and my man Rod Todd, and the levels it got to, it was again, it's an off-air thing, boys, I think. G-Bags,
Most of Jonas's comments should be off air, let's be real.
I know. I need to look before I see the great man Jonas up there. Neil's poor performance. Is it worth keeping an eye on guys like McCluggage, Dawson, Will Ashcroft? Dawson, absolutely. Yep, I don't mind Dawson. Clug can be very inconsistent, and Ashcroft's probably not yet because lots of the good run is coming to an end soon. I think Horn Dog down to Humphrey B. Bear. Yes, Lindsay to Langford. Leak to Zorko. Talk about a decent upgrade. The old Leak to Zorko is right up there with the best, isn't it?
Who's B Bear?
Humphrey B. Bear. Oh, so he's Humpty. He's Humphrey B. Bear. You're too young, God. There was this
I don't know who Humphrey B. Bear is.
You don't know who Humphrey Bear is?
Oh,
nah.
God. It shows my age. It shows my age.
I'm 20, mate.
You're young.
Rub it in, mate. Good on you. Rub it in. Crikey. Right, I was watching Humphrey B. Bear in the 80s. It's basically a man in a big bear. It sounds freaky as, doesn't it?
Barney.
What, Barney
Look
the
him up,
dinosaur?
mate. Look him up and look up Agro's Cartoon Connection while you're there as well, brother. That was that was the bomb, man. Let me tell you. Anne-Marie out of Craft Anne-Marie. Oh,
I'm 23. I've seen that Humphrey B. Bear before. Now that I've looked it up, it looks familiar.
You've seen him, so I'm not that bloody ancient.
I'm cracking 30 this year, and I grew up on the tail end of Humphrey B. Bear.
Oh no,
I have never seen that. I've never seen that creature in my life. I've just
creature. Mate, Mr. Squiggle, we had them all, mate. There was Fat Cat.
Squiggle.
I think Fat Cat got charged. Things actually. Fat Cat. I'm not too sure. About
cartoons in the 80s and early 90s were wild.
All right, I've never seen Mr. Squiggle before. What is that? That is scary.
Mate, Mr. Squiggle, and he's got the grumpy blackboard. It's like a big dick on his nose. It's
what's it called?
Pencil. And he writes on the blackboard with his nose, which is a pencil.
Pinocchio, mate. What?
And it'll be the start of the drawing. So there'll be these little squiggles there, and he'll be like, all right, I'm going to use these squiggles now and create it into something. And why the am I talking about Mr. Squiggle when I'm trying to get to boys?
This is why we've gone for 2.5 hours now.
Oh, man, I'm losing it.
I tell you what, bloody Cars came out when I was 2. So that gives an idea of how... Oh, actually, I was 1 still.
Jesus.
So that gives you an idea of how much I know.
Iconic, though. Cars is iconic.
Best movie. Bloody...
Yeah, absolutely. Scoopsy. What? I think this is Scoops. Oh, damn. Scoops. Oh, no. I tell you what. If you got 5 minutes, Scoopy Doopy. Scoops.
The says 5 minutes. He means 2 hours.
Okay, Scoops, there's the thing. If you can jump on for a minute, I'd love you, Scoops. All right, guys, I'm literally not going to get to all these comments, I think. I almost need to give up. I feel so bad. I'll tell you what, anyone that's left a comment, and I haven't got to it, please either do it on Twitter. I'm going to do my round review video tomorrow night. I normally do it on the Sunday night, but I will do it tomorrow night. Please leave your question there, or else we've got the Swordplay Potty this week. Swordplay Potty this week, got the mailbag section, had over 50 questions last week. Please do that, because I hate not getting the questions. I genuinely feel terrible, but like there are so many more, and it's like Denise is going to, boys, if I don't wake up tomorrow, you know that Denise has absolutely got to me here. I tell you what, before we do go, I think the man is here.
G'day, DR. What's up?
The man himself. How are you, mate?
I know. Yeah, not bad, you. Saints are 2-1. We beat Geelong last week, so happy days for now.
Scoopsy, what a way to end this live, mate. We've got some absolute St Kilda royalty on here. You'd be up and about, brother. You done those dirty cats the other week.
Yes.
Who's your BOG this week, Scoopsy? BOG for the Saints.
For this week, Sinclair, obviously, 40 touches and silky smooth mover, and two-time All-Australian. Should be 3 soon, hopefully.
Agree, Scoops. Absolutely,
yes.
Mate. What was your celebration, mate? Did you a bit of a fist pump after the win, or a bit of the arrow, or how'd you celebrate the big win, mate?
Nah, I'm not Xavier Dersma. He does the bow and arrow. That's his. Nah, it was only Richmond. I got a port mate that I go on my YouTube streams with, and I because it is Richmond after all, so you can't really brag about beating them, I guess. But it was just a little bit of a banter thing, unless you're Carlton, like Pommy and that. But yeah, so yeah, my mate with the port guy, it was kind of like, you beat them by, I think they beat them by 72 or something like that, and we beat them by 82 or something like that. So it's like, great, good, we beat them by more, so we win the mini victory, and then we got them this week, Adelaide. So yeah.
Oh. I tell you what, that's going to be a spicy contest, Scoops. But I reckon you boys might get the chocolates, and you'll have bragging rights over your Port Adelaide friend as well. And nothing's better than bragging rights, is it, Scoops?
Absolutely. And I mean, you got the bragging rights of everything with the premiership last year.
Oh, look, mate, it was a decent year, but we haven't been playing great football, I don't think, Scoops, at the moment. We've just been managing just to get the job done, mate. Big scare against West Coast the other week. But where the Saints going to finish, Scoop? So we're round 3 at the moment. Is lid off in Kilda at the moment, or are you still keeping lid on and just lowering expectations now, mate? What are you feeling, Scoops?
Well, I mean, it's not that hard to trigger some people. I on my live stream last night, I trolled them. Like I said, it's Richmond. I put on the title of the video, Saints player contenders, but technically I put a question mark. So technically that's not clickbait because I put the question mark. It was a question, not a statement. But yeah, actually, in my latter prediction, I had us 9th. Our depth has never been the strongest, and when you go into a season with, at that point, I think it was 8 or 10 of our best 22 out, and still 6 of them out now, and then you had Taurui, our top draft pick, on top of Travaglia, only just playing this week. So, yeah, I still say around 9th, but hey, if we're beating Geelong, and nothing better, and thanks for beating Geelong too and letting them choke a 5-goal lead. But yeah, around the 8th mark, DR, but who knows if we can beat Port this week? That flag contender question mark may no longer be a question mark.
We're getting rid of the punctuation. You heard it here first. Getting rid of that punctuation if the Saints are up this week. But I'm really happy for you blokes, Scoops, because got some good mates, Jono and Roscoe as well, which are big Saints, man. I want to see the Saints have some success, mate. You got close with 3 Waltz of era, and you were very successful. You just didn't quite get the ultimate success. But hopefully, mate, with this young group of players that you've got coming through, the Darcy Wilsons as well, they're looking really good at the moment. Lots of talent, mate. Lots of talent. I think you folks go pretty well. But very quickly, before we end the stream, Scoop, how's the Supercoach team going, mate? Because you managed, if I remember last year, to take out a weekly prize, didn't you? Or very close to the weekly?
Yeah, 2023, I think that was. It wasn't last year. It was 23 or 22. I was pretty sure it was 2023. I was on your show not long after that, of course, with Liam. Wasn't not Liam. I've had a blank now of everyone's names. But yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, 2 years ago. This year, I got 1,907 this week. I blame Lockie Neal, your mate, for the captain. Thanks, Lockie. But you know what? I actually saw the chat last week. I'm sure you did too, but people were jumping on Jack McRae for captain. I knew it was Richmond, but I seem to be a jinx with who I put the captain on. So I'm like, I'm not going to jinx my own player. And I didn't do it. He got 120, which is still decent. But, went Lockie Neal, and instead I was angry. But I was happy Geelong choked. So in the end, Lockie Neal scoring shit at that point went down the window because Geelong choked.
You got your priorities in order at the moment, Scoops.
Yes.
You got your priorities in order,
Yeah.
mate. A great St Kilda man.
Mm.
And anyone that does not know who this man is, I'm sure that you do. You must be living under a rock if you don't know the great Scoops. But he is the sole admin of AFL Trade Rumours and Results, and in my humble opinion, the best budding young journalist in Australia that's not with the current network. That's just my opinion.
I appreciate that, DA. Yeah, I just saw some of your comments here. Supercoach Edge, which is Damo, good man as well. I've been on his show as well. Does good job.
Nice.
But yes, Supercoach question for you, DR.
Yes, mate.
I'm in the top 10% for now. How are you ranked? And is there a particular play? I saw you guys talking about Sam DeConing before. He's driving me nuts. He is. I didn't want to bring him in the first place. I thought I was a primo short, and because everyone was jumping on him, I jumped on the bandwagon. And I normally don't jump on Geelong players' bandwagon, even for Supercoach. And this just proved why I would never jump on a Geelong player ever again. That's not a rookie.
SDK not looking good and subbed off, even with Big Shannon Neal wasn't looking too great there, Scoops. But I'm ranked, mate, in the top 15%.
Okay, still decent. And the real DeConing is Tom DeConing. And trust me, he'll go from a star to a superstar if he's wearing red, white, and black next year, hopefully.
Oh, Scoops is trying to get TDK across. Who don't worry about Harry Boyd, Marshall TDK combo. Scoopsy.
If that seriously though, all jokes aside, if that actually does happen, that actually makes the structure better because our key forwards with Membry going, which I'm still pissed about, by the way. It would help Marshall and him, and one can play forward. And you can mix it up, and rotate it a lot. But those two together with Sharman, the Sharmanator, he's bloody good himself. It'd be a better forward line mix with the talls at least. But we'll see how we go. And all aboard the Filippo train. He'll be back soon in a month.
We've all forgotten about Mateus, haven't we? The absolute forgotten
never
man.
Forget.
Everyone had locked in their side, Scoops. Everyone had locked in their sides pre-season, but
they did.
No good for now. So reckon about 3-4 weeks, you reckon, mate? And he's
I think so, yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's the plan going right now. I actually had his brother on the podcast the other day. He's another one to be potentially drafted at the end of the year. Javan Filippo. Another Filippo.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, he's a left and right footer. You go watch his highlights, he'll kick on his left. And then I was watching his highlights when I was doing my video with him the other day for the trailer. And I'm thinking, is that even him? He's kicking on his left. And then I go to another video of him and he's kicking on his right. So he's chopping and changing on both feet. Good player too.
So this is why you get all the inside scoops, mate. This is why you get all the inside scoops. This is why, as I said, the best young budding journalist out there. What a way to win, boys. Could you believe that the great Scoops is just joined the stream when we're about to end? We've been going for almost 3 hours, 2 hours and 51 minutes. So,
good job.
Hang on. You're joking me here.
What's up, fellas?
Hang on.
Oh, my goodness.
Hang on.
Damo.
Oh my god.
Hang on.
4 or 5
Bugger off,
hours.
Denise. Get your microphone.
What's up?
I'll do her a favor. I'll mow a lawn again or do something, trim the hedges or something, because boys, first of all, Damo, mate, welcome to the channel. Scoopsy, our great fan, was just giving you a big rev up. Been on your channel as well. Welcome, buddy. Good to see you, mate.
I don't know if we can hear. No, I'm muted, Damo.
Hey, I'm Liz.
The good old StreamYard playing tricks, is it?
Old StreamYard playing tricks. Hang on,
I'll use the same.
We'll try to work out what's going on with the great man there. We've got Big J there. Big J, can you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
So Big J, Damon, can you actually hear me? Yeah. Go out and back then, mate. We'll get you back on. Big J, how's your week been, mate? How are you?
Yeah, doing all right. Gonna go do team review video after this probably, and then back to work tomorrow. But yeah, just kind of recovering from all of my rookies scoring a lot better than my primos this week. So it's not a great, not a great situation to be in. I think Luke Traynor almost outscored my entire primo midfield. So yeah, it's pretty funny there. Jordan Dawson with 96 was the only one that. Oh, sorry, and Chera 98 outscored him, but everyone else not so good. So it's a little bit back to the drawing board. There's a couple of players I want this week, but I'm really worried because it did feel like so many players got stuck being the sub or being cut out altogether. Like Lindsay obviously injured, and then Hewitt was the sub, and then Nevitt was the sub, and then maybe Ashcroft didn't do very well either. And then, like, where does all my cash gen go if I don't own, Murphy Reed or whatever? So, yeah, it's a very, very tricky situation this week because it could be make or break, I think, a little bit. Especially for us that potentially spent 9 trades in 3 weeks. So it's not great.
Big J.
Yeah, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. These rookies are doing better than the premiums, like Lockie Neal. Caleb Sarong's getting royally screwed over, I think, a little bit in Supercoach the last few weeks.
He just bombed the ball forward. His problem. But I didn't bring in Sinclair this week. I went Whitfield and Clark, and obviously both of those didn't do too well either. So, yeah, just trying to figure out a lot of stuff, really. It's a bit rough.
Filippo is the GOAT, and you can blame me, DR, for anyone that brought in Xavier Lindsay or had Xavier Lindsay because I brought him in this week.
You were the curse as well, Spilt, as the scoop, so it wasn't just me. It was the DR.
I think I'm the general curse because I've traded in 2 players this year that have had knee injuries and scored 9. So
yeah,
you can blame me.
Yes, it's not fun.
It's all of us, is it? Damon, the great man, are you with us now?
G'day, I think I've got you now. Yes, apologies.
Yes.
I was connected via Firefox, which I know StreamYard doesn't like. Well, I know, but I forgot. So I have to use Chrome. It's very racist with regards to certain browsers it doesn't like. So I could hear you guys through the YouTube, which I had in a separate browser, and it was like freaking me out because it was like looping. And then the mic wasn't connected, so I was like, "Oh, ripper!" But the gag was I wasn't going to say anything until you actually addressed me because there was so many of us, and yet I couldn't talk. So,
just like Carlton's season starting off bad.
Oh, here we go.
Jeez.
Good one, Skips.
He's going for the old drive-by nice and early on.
Exactly.
Damo's a good guy, though. I'll give him that.
Wait until we meet you finally at a proper ground this time around at the MCG, Scoops, not just at Marvel.
Oh, yeah, Jack Higgins says hello, Damo. I spoke to him recently for you.
Oh, good. Tell him I said g'day.
Well, I heard this man's about to tower up Paddy Cripps. I don't know. That's just what I heard on the.
Oh, is that
Dacos?
He probably will.
No.
Probably will.
Scotty Pendlebury.
Pendles.
Oh, Pendles.
Yeah, 35. This guy will probably have 40 on Chera, so steel side bottom there. So
yeah,
he will.
He's been playing good football, hasn't he? Bloody
2-man show at Carlton at the moment.
2-man, probably 1-man, I reckon. Scoops. They just alternate it.
He's off TDK.
Yeah, I love that comment. That was funny. Yeah, you want to pay up though, Damo? 1.5-ish.
Yeah, I'm chipping in. I'm going around the streets, just doing a bit of a tin run.
Cheeky sausage sizzle, one of those every week for the next however long to pay for
it. My mind went rogue there with sausage sizzle.
That's after hours work you're thinking of there.
Just like we're all after hours. Let's be honest.
Oh, here we go. Scoops goes bang. Not a fancy bang the old Scoops.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of going bang, Volcanoes in the foreign line again tomorrow for another ridiculous Jack McRae comment.
Oh, is he being controversial again?
How bad was that guy that came on and tried to convince Kane that Jack McRae was the best midfielder, and then he ended up saying his bloody fantasy scores?
Wow. About that, I see. You don't get Scoops for nickname for a reason. I actually reached out to that Matt guy who got cut off by Kane Gaunts, who had plenty of notes he's shown me. And Kane, he actually, I don't know where you saw the clip. I don't know if you watched the full clip or if you saw a certain Insta page post part of it, right? There was actually a bit where the guy referenced contested possessions and stuff at the very start, but I don't know if the Insta page shown all that, and they only conveniently shown the bit where he so-called got roasted. And Kane unprofessionally kept cutting him off when he tried to go through it all. Then Kane, for the third time through fantasy stats, Matt said, yes, I did include that. He didn't say that was the only reason why he was the best mid in the comp right now or anything like that. He had that on top of 50 other reasons. But of course, Kane had the agenda to cut him off and have the final say. And apparently the same guy, Matt, rang into Dwayne Russell later in the day and gave his point across. And now Jack McRae got 30 again. So he said he's going to ring Kane again tomorrow, he reckons. So watch out for part 2. If they don't cut him off again.
That's why we call him Scoops. He's got all the inside info. That's why we call him Scoops. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if Kano's watching at the moment, Scoops. If he is, Kano, feel free to jump on and you can battle Scoops, because I'm on Scoops' side, Kano. You got nothing on this man, mate.
Yeah, Kane and I have had a few back and forths over time, and have a public one would be nice.
I'll tell you what, Scoops, I'd love to see it.
Like he doesn't like Supercoach or fantasy, so I don't know if he'd be in here.
That's a good point.
Boxing match, the Volcano and the Scoops charity boxing match. Let's get it done. I'll find a venue. Yeah. And, Kano wouldn't show up, Scoops. Let's be honest, mate.
He'd only last a week, just like he did as a. Yeah, he'd only last a week, just like he did as a firefighter. So, but I actually like Kane. I love that he speaks his mind, but he's talking a lot of dribble lately.
That's right. You're not prepared for that when it comes to the Saints, boys. You talk about Jack McRae like that. Well, then we're opposite. He's an inaugural Scoops medal winner. See, I predicted this 5 years ago, Dia. Since 2021, he won the inaugural Scoops medal, Jack McRae. I envisioned this from then on. That's what he won in 2021. It was all part of the story. Now, the wrestling reference, Cody Rhodes was finishing his story. Well, that was my damn story. Jack McRae wins the inaugural Scoops medal. Then he will agree to come to St Kilda when he can. And that's when he did. And that's why he did. 5 years ago. Now, this is why I say, respect the Scoops. Well, everyone's jumping on Jack McRae's vice captains now and all the rest.
Yeah.
Scoops said his little crystal ball has gone. Jack McRae, bang, St Kilda. You heard it here first.
Absolutely. And just one quick one on Jack McRae's stats, because Kane loves to cut people off. So I'll say it because he can't cut me off now. Is that Jack McRae in the 3 Saints games, right, has either been in the top number 1 or the top 3 of all the major stats: clearances, score involvements, contested possessions, score involvements, all those major ones. And it's funny too, he always wanted to reference about, he only handballs the ball, makes no impact. No impact, Kane says. That's the impact he's making as a firefighter, no impact. But as a super coach one, Jack McRae, you can have little 5 meter handballs, right, and actually impact the game if you're in and under with the bloody ball and get the chain out. And that's what Jack does, but Kane doesn't want to mention that. If he wants to reference his buddy Jason Horn-Francis, how about his stats this year? 17 against Richmond, the VFL team, and then in the other 2 games, efficiency of around 60%. And that's the same stats that Kane was shitting on McRae for, yet his own best friend was doing way worse in the 3 games so far.
And he can't pick up the ball as well.
Yeah, exactly. Horn-Francis can't pick it up. He drops it. And then Kane tries to make excuses for him the other night, saying he just doesn't feel right at the moment. It's just, it's interesting. But Kane's got his favourites, and clearly for some weird reason he hates Jack McRae. Apparently he liked him at the Bulldogs, but now he doesn't like him. I wonder why, because he doesn't like St Kilda.
Bias, I say, mate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Bugger, you Kane, you heard it first here, and I tell you what, you wouldn't want to face this man in a charity boxing match, because I reckon a few quick moves and you'll be gone. Oh, we've gotten way looser all of a sudden. We've gotten loose. We have gotten loose. Supercoach bro, Bradley, how are you, my friend? What is going on, mate?
Yeah, I just did a stream before as well, and I saw it was midnight. I was like, no way, we're going to join in here. It's late night streams. I love it. I've been doing mine for about 3 hours as well. Yeah.
Oh, mate, we had no idea. People were saying Brad's doing it. I'm like, I feel bloody terrible. I had no idea. But, mate, I did mention that you've had a big weekend. We haven't given any of your stories away in the group chat there, mate. But fair to say you've been having some fun lately, my man.
Yeah, probably too much, to be honest. Like, I've had a lot of bad things. Like, on Monday, I lost my car mirror because I reversed into a pole. And then Thursday night, I went to a concert, right? I went to Nelly concert, and I had a big night, and I woke up in the morning, sort of like hangover, and I was like, gee, where's my car gone? I got no tattoo on my face, which is a surprise because I'm pretty covered. I didn't get married or anything. Tick. Well, to some. And then I see my car. It's not on the street where I parked last night. Now, I don't drink or drive or any of that. So I went to the hotel across the road from my Airbnb, and I'm like, what's a clearway zone? They're like, oh, your car's been towed. So $485 later.
Oh,
I've
no.
I've just gone to Collingwood, picked it up. $20 Uber didn't feel so expensive when you're paying $485 to impound your car. And then, went out the next night to Tech 9, had a few more drinks to cry my pain away, and then I didn't spend any money at the bar. So, a bit of an expensive weekend, but for all the wrong reasons. But I'm here now and joining you, lads. So I hope you guys had a better weekend than what happened with my week.
Well, look, mate, a bit of carnage from your end. Tell us about the Supercoach side of things, mate. So I still haven't heard from Damon the Great Man either, but are you happy this week, Brad? Because you've been flying to start the season, mate.
Yeah, happy somewhat. Like, things like injuries you can't foresee, but like overall the side's pretty good. I think I'm, top 1% still. It's my first good start to the season in about 2 years. So I'm at 1,964.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Top 2K, brother. Very nice.
Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Well, don't
Definitely
ask
beating
me.
me at the moment. It is rough.
What are you, Big J?
Like top 12%, 3,900, just above there. It's just been like missing out on a couple of picks, missing out on a couple of players. I think a lot of it's got sucked into the 400K players in the back line, and then it's just been recovery mode since then, really. Sheasel not doing well. Max Gorn not doing well either, even though he basically outscored every ruckman this week, which was hilarious. So, it's a lot of running back from the stop line to where we are now, I think.
Damon, we haven't heard from you, mate. Are you traveling well, or are you in the dungeons like me, mate?
Well, I haven't heard how you're traveling, D. I did see you had a bit of an emergency live stream, which I wasn't able to check out prior to this one.
I was saying, mate, I was fully prepared to lose like 15K ranks. I scored 1930 this week, and I went actually up the ranks. I think I was about 15,000 up until 12,400, mate. So I was actually happy with that. I cannot believe that I saw a green tick with that score. So that was me for the week, mate. Are you happy this week?
Yeah, well, I was similar to you. I was 1954, and like yourself, I'm kind of not too phased with rank at this stage of the season. Like every start to the year, it's always like unless you have an out of the box top bloody 0.5% of a score in a given week in the early rounds, you're kind of going to be inflated anyway because it's such a tight, I guess, tussle between everyone. Last week there was 280 points separating my rank, which was I think it was about 23,000 to the person who was ranked 100th. So it's like, you have a half decent week and you can make up, thousands of ranks early on. It's more, I'd be worried if I was this rank, which at the moment I'm 15,026. So I'd be worried if I was this rank come like the mid-year, I'd be absolutely cooked because it's so hard to try and make your way back. But as you know, being a teacher and a maths man, that's there's less margin, there's less margin to try and make up compared to later in the year. So a few shrewd trades and you'll be all right. But spewing about Lindsay, because I brought him in, which many people probably would have as well, but just unfortunate, one of those things, it happens. Thank God we got 40 trades.
Oh, it's like that, isn't it, mate? I tell you, it's been one of those seasons so far. I've found it so hard to get it right. But the beauty of this game is that we've got trades in the bank and good coaches trade their way out of troubles. So I've got full faith in everyone that we see right here and everyone that's tuning in, that with some good trades, you can fix up those holes and really work your way in towards the season. So we all have bad weeks. You know, I was celebrating last week, back on the horse, then you have a bad one. But I think from what I've seen from most people, it's been a tough week for the majority of the community. The Rosie types, the Neil types, the Lindsays, the O'Connells, if you got them, the Nevitt subs, the Hewitt subs. There was a fair bit going on this week. But I'll tell you what, Damo, Brad, Big Joe, I know you've just joined us, but all the talk really has been about Humpty Dumpty, Bailey Humphrey, Ryan Marrick, all of a sudden, which I did not see coming, but a lot of Marrick talk at the moment. A bit of Jai Simpkin talk happening. We've got Moraes, obviously, who's a really obvious one. We've had some Harvey Langford interest with some people, but the big one, and the three other blokes that I had on here before, they're all very keen, very, very keen on Lockie Whitfield this week with his nice 2-week run. Some of us, not me, may be going Sheasel to Lockie Whitfield. It's an interesting move, but he's not really looking like it, the Shees, is he? So that's been the major discussion points. What is there anyone, Damon, that's really on your mind, mate, this week? Maybe someone that you're not sure about. You don't know if you're keen, you're not, you are, you jump, you're on, you're off.
Yeah, it's at this stage of the year, it's always hard because, I mean, so few guys have actually increased in price, apart from, you know, those that have 2 price increases that played in round 0. So we're kind of still working within the same sort of framework of what we had with the starting salary cap. So unless you're pivoting, as you say there, from like a Shees or like, you know, existing primo to another primo, bit of a sideways trade, you kind of hamstrung a bit. I shifted around a bit of money last week and brought in Zorko. So now I kind of just to strengthen my back line. But if I didn't bring in Zorko, I was looking at Sinclair and I was also looking at Whitfield. Those are kind of my other 2 options as well. But happy enough with the great, magnificent one, Zorko. So outside of that, I mean, just trying to still rookie correct. I think that's kind of what lays the foundations for, you know, building your side later in the season. So trying to limit the amount of sideways trading at the moment, apart from, I guess, you know, sidewaysing those rookies. But yeah, interesting. I mean, there's different tactics, but that sounds like a very, very Skodfather type move, that one.
Yeah, the old Skodfather. And you mentioned the other day, a very small world. I teach both of his grandkids as well for PE, and they are ripping little fellas. They are great kids, and no surprise they come from Abs's family. But I must admit, bit of favoritism. When I heard that they were Abs's grandkids, I called them down. I said, "Boys, super duper on me. Come to the canteen, fellas." So you got to look after your mates. So,
classic.
A little bit of bias there, but you got to look after the great Abs's.
Connections paid off for them.
I think one that a lot of people are sleeping on at the moment is Bailey Smith too. Last week of him being the price that he is before he goes up in price. So he's one that I didn't bring in last week and was like, cool, I've just got to cop whatever he scores this week, and was lucky that he only scored an 80 odd, so it didn't hurt me too much. But Bailey Smith is definitely in my trade plans at the moment. Horrible DT to Supercoach ratio, but just what happens sometimes. And yeah, definitely made sure that I had some money left over for him after the trades last week.
There's a good comment there too about Bailey Humphrey. I heard you guys say earlier about him a little bit. I wouldn't get him. I feel like he's one of those guys like Shano just wrote in the chat about a major trap, and I'd be staying clear of picking him too. I'm not so keen on him. And with his role, is his role going to stay what it's been? Like, is it going to fluctuate over games just like Sheasel? Is it going to be all over the place? And, you know, one moment it's there in the spot you want, then it's in the spot you're not. And as for the rankings you mentioned too, it does chop and change a lot, I suppose, early days, the first 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's a good point, mate. I'm still not sure on Humphrey at the moment.
Neither am I, no. I'm always afraid to say what I will do before the teams or before the first game starts, because I have a little joke with some people I know. They if I say what trades I'll do, they'll copy me, and then if they copy me and they get it and it goes bad, they'll blame me, and vice versa.
Well, mate, you're a very authoritative figure. We know that. So what you say and do, Scoops, absolutely paves the way for the rest of the community, mate. So I'll tell you what, loving your work, mate. Now, boys, what's this one? Cracked the top 220 this week. Well done.
Yeah.
Tragic coin flip with Lecrae, captain over Sinclair. Could have put me top 100. Oh, well, mate, you can't complain too much.
Old mate CWT, I don't know if he's on your... he comes in with you.
Been all over it, mate.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, huh?
Massive, man. Massive, man. Matty Granger, hey, dude. What's up? This is pretty cool. Matty, it's been, by my clock here, 3 hours and 10 minutes. I've said about 5 minutes ago, like, gone. I will actually have to end this now, I think. What the hell? I wake up, get a drink, and there's 7 freaking people on. Mate, I was about to actually end things. We had Scoopy come on. Look at that Damo. He's got the mic. Actually, Big J, do us something. Just can you look up and then just to the side for a sec like that and smile? Just. That's brilliant.
Okay, I understand.
Oh, yeah. I watched you sing with Usher the other day, and Usher was actually... Usher was in the bottom left, but they thought that he was going to be in the middle, or he thought he was going to be edited to the middle. So he's looking at all this stuff, left, right, and he's just in the left hand. He's looking like an absolute tool, looking into thin air and all the rest. But this is big. Oh, hang on, the Scoops question. Graz, Scoops, who did you have as captain this week, mate?
He's a very funny man, Graz. He knows I had Lockie Neal. He's trying to stir me up. But yeah.
Graz, no stirring up.
Yes.
Scoops,
he's a good man, though. Yeah, he's a good man, though. He loves his Dockers, but would you believe this? He wanted his Dockers to lose to West Coast just for the possibility to have his coach, Justin Longmuir, sacked. Yes, and he's not the only Freo fan I know saying that.
What?
Not a fan, Graz. Not a
Graz,
fan.
you're quite welcome to take a certain Mick Voss.
I don't think, knowing him, I don't think he wants Carlton's coach either, or Melbourne's.
And boss up the sale up for trade.
Pretty good home.
Jonas, you blokes content creators are the Supercoach shepherds herding the sheep. The sheeple, send them off some false trades to follow much go off the cliff. Who is saying using our influence for evil, Jonas? I love it, mate.
I'll be trying to bring Filippo in too when he's back.
Mateus, do not sleep on Mateus. Absolutely. Uncle
No,
is
never.
the big Brad and the big pipes there. You and Spills left to have a pipe off, I reckon, one day, Braddles. Lobster going SDK and JAFH to Baz and Whitfield. Very, very nice.
We can do like Supercoach bench press competition or something one day. Just like go down to the gym and.
I can actually be the thing that they weigh. I'll just go nice and straight like the pencil there. And they can bench, how many DRs can you bench press? That's what we're going to do, boys. I'm about 55 ringing the wet at the moment. So
Supercoach in the gym.
That might be a good charity event. Who can bench the most DRs out of the community? I'll just sit back there. That'd be pretty cool, I reckon, actually. We'll do it for some charity. All right, boys. I reckon we've got about 6 more comments. I'm going to get through this. And then I'm going to have to go over to Denise if I actually survive.
I'm going to think you're breaking and entering.
Here we go. All right. Yarton, hey, man, you really woke up because you were craving cheese. I don't know who that is.
He's referencing I don't really like cheese.
Oh, cheese is a great food.
This man cheese, I love him. He's one of the best. We'll have a good stream. Back to bed for me and Flag Dons. Go the Dons.
They got to win a final first.
Guys, Baggers, Bobo, Brad, good night. Say it back, Brad. So, Brad, could you give Baggers a nice good night with your soft, soothing, gentle voice, please? Oh, very.
Did you even hear me?
Sensual. That was sensual.
I heard it.
Wasn't it?
That was like a late night phone operator.
That's what he's been
You might
doing.
be familiar with those, Brad?
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
not
Right.
say Kilda. That's why.
After the night, daytime not.
Marek over Bailey Smith. Talked a fair bit about that, mate. If you are Supercoach God, he's all Marek. I'm going safe with Smith. Abs is crazy having a negative score on field this week in Armstrong. Poor Abs. That was ridiculous.
And he still cracked 2K.
Seriously, That's
Yeah.
how good he is. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't have key forwards, rookies.
oh,
Same with Archer Reed is another example.
good
Off
old
the top of my head.
Archie Reed, the best read out there, they reckon. Bailey Dale was bad because he hasn't left the dogs yet. You're supposed to get the dogs after they leave. Yes, you're right, Matty. Absolutely, mate. Goal kicking and shot put comp. I can do
Yeah.
some goal
Oh, yeah.
Goal
Goal kicking at my sleeve. That's the only thing I can do, goal kicking.
Scoops. We'll have to do that, mate. We'll absolutely have to do that.
I agree. That'd be great.
That'd be
A Supercoach goal kicking challenge. That'd be, instead of players, for this rare one, it'd be a Supercoach one.
All right, we're gonna end on this on Jack's one. Sorry, boys, man. What do I do about Gorn, Sheasel? Yeah, so probably the one we said, mate, was probably JHF and Sheasel. We're most concerned with 98% of the stream. Magic, how are you, brother? Almost Lord of the Ring. It's felt like that, mate, but I think it will be available. It's automatically uploaded or something like that. Saints are power to win next week. Driz, it's the Saints every day of the week. We've got Scoops here. We are not saying power.
We'll board the Filippo train.
Brad with some ASMR. Very nice. That is literally the last comment. We're going to end on this one from Jack because it was to Brad. And I'm guessing it's something wild, knowing you, Brad. Brad, tell the lads here what happened over on your stream. This is how we're going to end the night. Brad, what happened, mate?
So, I got cracked an egg on my head because I stayed in the top 2K, but that's not what he's talking about.
Better than the
on
dream.
my stream, I had my housemate pop on into the comments, and he was like, my old housemate. He was telling him how we met and stuff through obviously just like a flatmates app and whatever. Anyway, converted him into a massive Richmond supporter, and then one of the lads decided to ask, how many ladies did he have over while you were his housemate? And he bloody writes in there heaps. And then the missus is in the same room as me. So I'm getting all these comments, and then Puffler and people like this are going, where's it starting? Like, they're just like random comments. I probably can't say for this stream. Like higher and lower. You can only imagine when they go into this kind of stuff. And then someone mentions about some weird foot fetish, all sorts of weird stuff. Anyway, the missus is there, and I'm like, then she decides to create an account on YouTube to then see the comments that the boys have written.
Oh, mate, I tell you, it's
Got to private the stream. Private.
Should have.
Yeah.
That's why I got out of the room for this one.
Yes.
Very well played, mate. So a bit of action on the Supercoach Pro stream tonight. There always is action with whatever you do, mate. So
enjoy that.
I tell you what, we need to have a solid night out one night, I think. But boys, that is it. And we're just going to end off with Scoops goes bang.
Yes.
Scoops, it was a wonderful surprise, mate. You go bang every time we have you on. But look at this. Don't worry about the Brady bunch. Don't worry about we have the rookie coach, Supercoach God, Damon from Supercoach Edge, Big J from the centre bouts, Scoops, the sole admin from AFL Trades and Rumours, and Brad, the Supercoach Pro. Boys, I cannot thank you. Oh, look at that show off. I tell you what, tweet running here, mate. Boys, cannot thank you enough for coming on tonight. We've still got 144 people that are currently watching.
I know.
I think it peaked at close to 300 at some stage. Yeah. So thanks to everyone for jumping on. Boys, you are welcome back anytime for these Sundays. If you want, please make sure that you arrive again. Make sure that you check out Rookie Coach's Supercoach channel. New onto the scene, but extremely knowledgeable. Probably knows more than me, and I've been playing for ages more than him, decades more. Supercoach God, the man, one of the best humans you'll meet. Saved me at the Supercoach catch-up with an Uber. Again, a great Collingwood man and one of the best voices, I think, out there. Supercoach God, thank you very much, as always, my friend. Damon from Supercoach Edge, you know this man by now. Talk about save me at a Supercoach catch-up. The last one before this, got a lovely ride home from the great Damon. I was in big trouble, didn't know which way the tram or the train station or the taxi, whoever I was getting home. I didn't know what was happening at that stage because it had been a big night. Maybe going through Fox Studios, Robbo, Jared. These are off-air stories, boys. I need to maybe gone through a couple of Robbo's lockers there at Fox Studios. I shouldn't say that, but no, it was a fun night. It was a fun night. thank you very much for joining us, legend. And can't wait to see all your stuff with Liam as well, mate. And also running the Supercoach Edge Keepers League draft, which has been a fun concept so far. Big J, thank you for joining us, my friends. And
no dramas,
make sure that you check out Big J and Joey on the run home in case you haven't already. And Brad, Supercoach Pro, I tell you what, if you what's he got? Is that an iron?
That's his mirror that he lost.
That's his car, I think.
He's got the mirror. What a way to win. I'll tell you what, Brad, I don't know if you've ever done anything with Shorty before, but the stories we could get off a Supercoach Pro and Shorty live, I think would be bloody number one, I think, mate. Talk about number one.
Thank you.
There's Jonas Damon. We don't know who your favourite is, Jonas, but no offence here, mate. I love Damon as well. One of absolutely my number ones. Good night, legends.
We're all number one,
Cheers for
collectively.
that, mate. Skitsvies, RDO tomorrow. Keep going, mate. I tell you, I can't because Jonas is over it. Grandpa DR does have to go to bed, unfortunately.
Are you working tomorrow, DR? I was just thinking that. Have you got the day off?
I am, mate. I am. But
oh wow,
this is the thing. Like, I'm a teacher, so I can pretty much there's no parents around, so I can just shut the curtains. Look, let's make it.
It's nap time now, kids.
That's dodgy. Yeah, shut the curtains. I'm not doing anything dodgy. I was just going to say put a movie on or something. That's I don't know. That's
that's what they used to do back in the day.
Fish.
It would just be movie time all the time, you know.
No dodgy movies. No, I'm okay. That's this is live too, isn't it? I can't edit this shit. Where's the kick on pod? Well, it's not going to be with me, mate, because I reckon the cops are going to be after me in DHS after that last comment about the kids.
I know what you're doing there, Brad.
Scoops. Good on you.
Yeah, so that's the Roman Reigns. You got to acknowledge a tribal chief. That's what it was. And by the way, I would have been on here earlier had you not had so many wonderful comments. You had a lot of comments, which is a credit to the work you do. You had a lot of comments in there before. That's why you caught up to it. It was barely 20 minutes beforehand till you saw it. So there you go. That's good job. No, Nick Rewald is the greatest AFL player in AFL history.
Good stuff. God.
That's mate. Scoops. Oh, there we go. He's got the. Oh, God. That is. Take that down right now.
I agree. There's a legend in Nick Rewalt on the screen. That's what it is.
09 or 010 or 2010?
Well, we got screwed in both of them. I believe that's 09 when Hawkins hit the post, and we got screwed in the year after they brought the score review in. And then 2010 there was the replay. And then what happened after that year? They got rid of the replay. We got screwed twice.
And there was a Stephen Milne bounce as well.
That's right.
Best marks of all time.
Yes.
Jonathan Brown, Nick Rewalt, best two marks of all time. I don't care what anyone else says.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Courage spills. Our two big boys, mate. Our two big captains.
Big
forwards. Respect to King.
He's better
Nick.
than
Respect to you, Scoops.
He's better than Jack Rewalt. He's better than Jack
All right,
Rewalt.
guys.
That much.
You got to get ready for Denise now.
Shit, Denise is. Denise, it's 12:20. I don't know if the old Denise is still going to be there, but we'll see what happens, boys. Thank you so much again. Much love. I've said this 20 times. I literally am going to end this stream now. So make sure that you do check out all of these legends channels. There we go. We got the Charlie going. Oh, Damon as well. Brad. I also got, mate, which I reckon you might like. You'll be interested. A pink dragon scale Sammy Walsh from the Hobby Boxes as well. I've got
nice.
Couple of these.
I also have a Walshy Brownlow as well because.
You collect him as well.
Jeez, there we go.
Look at this. Got a few card collectors with this.
I got a Coleman predictor, Essendon. I got a Norm Smith, North Melbourne, and but I did get a premiership predictor, Sydney. Not great. So there's the three big hits at the moment. But mate, we'll work out something for that Sammy Walsh because I know you're a Sammy collector, and
I am indeed.
Pink Dragon scale's only available in the hobby boxes, mate. So I've done well getting Sammy there. So
I'm going to purchase a box because I haven't bought a box yet. So once I do, hopefully, fingers crossed, I've got a few lines, boys, and I'll of course send it your way.
We'll absolutely work something out. And Scoopsy, anything St Kilda, mate, going your way, legend. All right,
guys, man.
Thank you very much again. Welcome anytime. We should do this again next week, but Grandpa
Agreed.
Dio needs to go to bed now. Much love, fellas. All the best. Thanks everyone for tuning in. 3.5 hours.
Thanks, Dio.
Boys. We did it well. Carnage week. Everyone's round reviews. All the rest will be out potties this week. Make sure that you tune in. Much love, guys.
Yeah.
Catch soon. Bye.
Catches.